Welcome everybody to the Open Rampage Season 10 Ryzen League. We got Team 2 versus the Edward Dragon Gaming, or EDG, and we're really just kicking it off right now with some bans. Team 2 banning Anivia, Alawi, and EDG banning Ornn and Udyr. What do you think of these bans, Canadian?
I mean, not just looking at the how the pro scene is going at this point. Anivia having a great presence in the game so far, having just such a large presence throughout the mid lane, just being able to hold it and maybe go for a late game, which just seems like what EDG is kind of going for. As well with Ornn, just a very solid stay back type of player in the top lane. But Seraphine, yeah. I saw Seraphine quite a few times banned throughout the games in Risen at this point, so constantly coming back and forth, seeing her a very wise presence in the games.
I think Seraphine is a solid ban. Probably the best blind in the game, in my opinion. She can go top, mid, bottom, support. I know they kind of nerfed her on patch 11.5, so I mean, she can't really. It's kind of hard for her to dish out the damage, but I think she can still go bottom and support and even mid lane. Just like a very good flex role, so a good ban by EDG. The Anivia ban looks like a target ban on EDG's mid laner. It doesn't look like it's something that anybody else really kind of plays. The Alawi and Olaf are bans as well. I think EDG's top laner has been playing a bit of Alawi, and it's just a smart ban to ban Olaf when you're picking Hecarim, when you're rotating Hecarim on first ban. There's very few junglers once Udyr's gone and Hecarim's picked. There's very few junglers that can kind of compete with Hecarim's clear time. You have, some people pick Graves, like in EDG's case, who can kind of walk into Hecarim's jungle and try to fight him. You see the Kindred pick as well. Sometimes you see the answer to is like Mundo, who has like another fast clear time. But tier 2 rotating and picking their support and ADC, Kai'Sa and Leona, just a very strong combo. A good answer to Nautilus, right? Both of them guys really tanky, really looking to engage, and I think Kai'Sa being able to reposition and really kind of play both styles of the ADC, where she can kind of dive in the back line and kill the squishies, and also kind of just play front to back with her passive, right? I mean, she can follow the Hecarim in if she wants to, she can follow the Leona in if she wants to, or she can kind of just play this front to back style. EDG picking up the Jinx, which has seen some popularity recently. I have seen Jinx being picked in, I believe, Korean leagues, and I think it's been getting buffed a bit. So a very good answer. I think they've been buffing her a bit in the previous patches, and I think her along with Kate are two of the AD carries that we'll start seeing, hopefully a bit more in the Ryzen League, as EDG bans Malzahar, which looks like another target ban for Team 2. And what do you think of the Teemo ban? You think it's a target ban?
I mean, thankfully, I think T2 was saying that they were not banning for the last two. I believe it's because there was 2 quick subs for the side of EDG, so I'm going to assume that Teemo was just a ban that they don't expect them to play in the first place. just to let time go on. Yeah, like you were saying, with the jungle and the bot lanes getting picked right away, again, mid lane getting targeted real hard right now by EDG, not wanting to, I believe it's Gala on the side of T2, not wanting him to have a wide variety of the characters that he can play, the champions that he can't play in this game. And let's see what other joke ban that T2 brings out to see who they expect EDG to not want to ban.
Yeah, Tryndamere right here. I don't know. Who's the worst? Who's some of the worst champions? Trundle right now. I think he's horrible. I think Trundle is such a bad jungler right now.
I think Zillion is often not played often.
Yeah, at least this season, I don't really see a lot of Zillion. Corki? Oh, Corki ban. If they do a Corki ban, that'll be. I mean, Corki's been played in the middle.
Yeah, Corki's. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an answer to
his
Azir. Corki is an answer to Azir. I don't really see Corki being picked into like anything else. As we see EDG kind of grab the top laner, and Gnar is such an interesting pick, right? It's a hotbed of conversation right now in the pro league scene and like all this stuff, just because there's such a divide on whether he's good or he's bad, right? In a vacuum, he's usually picked to answer like Renekton, and he's kind of just picked blind even, right? I kind of err onto the side that if you're a good team that communicates well, you can kind of just nullify Gnar just purely on good communication, right? If you can accurately play around his rage bar and his ultimate, you kind of just nullify him as a champion, right? A lot of teams can't do that. I mean, again, this is Rampage. You know, you have a lot of gold and silver players here, so we'll see how well they play around Gnar's Rampage or rage bar, and see if they can kind of just make sure he's exhausted, then take fights, then take engages, then take drags. And honestly, it's really hard to pilot on the Gnar side, right? Because you have to manage your rage bar, manage and time your TPs accordingly. Because if you TP in with like no rage bar, how are you going to really stack it? If in like a river fight or a dragon fight, you're going to hit the scuttle crab? Like you're not really doing much here. As we see, EDG has the mid lane counter pick. Team 2 picks up Victor, which is a very kind of solid mage. I would have loved to see something like Sinja or Orianna, maybe a little bit easier, something that doesn't require a lot of, I guess, if you misposition on Victor, you're kind of dead. As we see, EDG actually picked the Orianna, and yeah, we have 2 ball delivery services here with Nautilus and Gnar. But what do you think of the drafts? What do you think of the team comps right now?
Well, with Gnar being picked, you're talking about how it's hard to manage the rage bar with himself. But with Team 2, a lot of the characters are just engage hard. Like Hecarim, the Shadows, Leona's son, Kola's son, and also Irelia jumping in, so kind of can catch Gnar off guard and kind of choose their own choices of when they want to engage. Once again, with Orianna versus Victor, not seeing much compromise. Orianna wanting to play safe, wanting to just wait until level 6, wait until she can roam around with her extra movement speed to try to influence the side lanes. As well, I'm seeing as Victor kind of was pushed down to the bottom of his champion pool because of the Malzahar and the Veigar ban. So he was kind of scraping for what he could get before EDG took the last choice from him. So that's all my thoughts. What do you think?
If I'm looking at the draft, right, in these kind of like, lower skilled games, and I'm not calling these players bad or anything, but, in lower elo, the easier team comps to execute are always the ones that are easier to win on, right? And I think in Team 2's case, it's very easy to see what they want to do, right? You have the Leona, you have the Hecarim, you have the Kai'Sa. The big question mark is how well Gaia can kind of pilot this Victor. Because it's a very big difference, a stark difference between a good Victor, a serviceable Victor, and like a really good Victor, right? How you place your Chaos Storm, how you place your Gravity Field, right? Laning with your laser and your Q, like doing all this stuff. Victor is such a position-based champion that, one small step and you get caught out by Nautilus, you get caught out by Aura, you'll get ulted and you're dead, right? But I want to give draft edge to Team 2, just barely. It's maybe like a 55-45, if at most a 60-40, right? just because EDG has the Rage Bar, it has the Jinx, who's really position based as well, and who really needs to really watch where she steps, because this Leona and Hecarim, the moment she steps out, she's pretty much dead. And then the Orianna, I mean, we've seen all Oriannas in gold, silver, platinum, diamond, even pro play. They might sombrero, they might just whiff their ultimate. They're not really paying attention to the range. So I want to see how EDG's mid laner kind of pilots Orianna's ball and see where she places it. Does she place it to zone? Is she only using it for team fights? Like, how is she really, maneuvering it? I think the jungle matchup or the jungle favor should be in Hecarim's, just because I think his full clear is a bit faster. What I'm hoping for EDG to do is to scout out where Hecarim is spotting and make sure EDG's jungler starts opposite end, right? So if Hecarim is starting blue buff, we need Graves to start the opposite end, so then they can full clear up or down and then trade crabs, right? I don't think you want to get into a crab fight with Hecarim right now, because just because he can full clear and get to crab around 315, 320, while Graves cannot necessarily full clear his whole 6 camp jungle and get to the crab in time. So I'm really looking for some smart jungle pathing here. I think this game will be decided by which support roams more, whether it be the Leona or the Nautilus. It's going to be super crucial to get either Victor or Orianna ahead, because that lane can swing like pretty one way or the other, depending on who gets the Verdant Barrier first, who goes Verdant Barrier into, your standard mythic items. It kind of dominates the lane a bit, right? It's a very control mage lane. I'm assuming they're both going to take phase rush and teleport, so they're not really looking to kill each other. So it's going to be on where they look to take these ganks. But who do you think?
So
Yeah,
what I
go
was thinking,
ahead.
with you saying how you kind of answer a little bit of my question, with Victor and Orianna wanting to get them ahead, but where would Hecarim and Graves want to focus? Where do they want to go? What lane do they want to push ahead early on to try to maximize their transition into the mid game, and just have an insurmountable lead, as we see a lot of the games can happen at this level? So where does Adam and King Tilt Lord want to go to influence this?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the win conditions for Team 2 and EDG. Like, what screams to me is, get this Irelia ahead. Get this Irelia 1 or 2 kills. Start diving this Gnar on cooldown, right? While you look at EDG's win condition, and it really looks like they have to kind of get this jungler ahead, right? The Graves, and they have to kind of get this Jinx Nautilus lane kind of rolling, right? Because once Jinx gets a couple kills, she can just start shredding tier 2 team 2's team comp, right? So it'll be a really, I mean, it looks like to be a 5v5 team fight. I expect Hecarim to take early drags and take all these kind of early 5 to 10 minute objectives, hopefully, going for the whatever the first and second dragons are, and going for the Rift Herald, just because he will have a little bit more, he'll have faster clear, he'll have in theory he should have more items, more gold, a little bit more income than Graves. And what I'm looking for Graves to do is kind of take these 2v2s or on top lane, or maybe an unfair 2v1 and top lane, and just look to like really push an advantage and try to get the flank onto some of these, the immobile mid laner, or, maybe try to get around to bot side and help Jinx and Nautilus out and just kind of get them out of laning phase. We're going to really see what happens. This bot lane is going to be determined by the supports. I'm a steadfast believer that it's not the AD carries that decide the matchup. It's definitely how the supports play, and what they do within the first, 15 minutes really determines the pace and the setting of both bot lane and I think the game as well, right? I think jungler and support are two of the most strongest roles in terms of coordinated play. And I specifically say coordinated play because these guys are on voice comms and stuff. They'll have the most impact. They'll be able to sync up their CC. They'll be able to kind of roam together and really impact the map. So we're going to see. I think whatever the dominant support jungle duo is here, whether it be Team 2 or EDG, I think they're going to set the pace, and then they're going to win the game at least set the team up to win the game.
All right, well, on that note, we'll take a little intermission while we load into the game, and let's jump right back in when that starts.
Yeah. See you guys soon. and Team 2 are just, scouting out. It looks like Hecarim is going to be starting on his blue side. And then bit of vision.
It's a little war now. Just pushing out Orianna. Have this protection with Irelia just in case. The rest pinged out so they know where they're starting out.
Yeah, and they're just standard kind of jungle starts. You're not seeing the typical solo queue stuff where everybody's just at their tower after they get in, get a snack, maybe get some chips, drink some water. I mean, this is very, very standard stuff. At least they know that the ward was placed down. And we'll just kind of see, hopefully, actually Hecarim will be starting right side. So we may see a skirmish for the top side crab. And this is going to be really important on who has the prio in both mid and top, right? If Irelia can kind of get this early prio, get the shove in on Gnar, then Hecarim will have prio on this crab, and Graves will have to waste a lot of time just walking down to the crab, and they'll know where he's going to be, right? So bot lane can play accordingly.
And you said earlier that they'll be focusing on the top lane. It should be, anyways. They went back, dropped the ward, and got the Oracle lens for themselves. I'm looking around. P7. I was gonna put a little. All right. Just thinking a bit of happening around this game. I'm looking around at the runes, trying to see if there's anything just catch us off guard.
As we see some trading in the top lane with Irelia just going in on this Gnar, right? Oh.
Yeah, Fengus, oh my gosh, down to 100. Flash both of them, taking a few tower shots of her own. Fengus so close to taking on Clear Divide 2.5 minutes into the game. Kind of been really just fire ahead. That top lane matchup, like you were saying earlier, that is the one they want to be focusing on. And that was close to getting a bit of a lead real quick.
And Gnar has to burn the TP, and we look at this huge wave piling up at top. Now when Hecarim kind of goes for this crab, that's going to be coming up very soon at about, 20 seconds. There's this huge wave piling up. Irelia has kind of the cheater recall, but I don't know if she should be recalling right now. Hopefully either she walks back or helps this Hecarim, because Graves went for the full bot side clear into red, into crab, right? And the mid prio is on EDG's side right now. So yeah, Irelia taking a bit too long. I think Hecarim just loses this crab just because of the top laner backing here.
She had the two level versus one in the top lane.
No clue what's happening here. That's
Adam, greedy. Oh no! Trying to go for that crab, but not expecting Irelia to be around. Orianna to be around, and gives up first blood really quick.
And that's just really greedy, right? You saw your top laner back. You definitely have to see him walking back to lane. You definitely saw Orianna move out of mid lane. Like, at that point, you full clear and you just run down to the bot crab. Trade it, man. Don't get too crabbed here. You don't want to give Graves this lead. Now he's about a half a level up, right? If you count the experience. I mean, he is level 4 to level 3, but he's about half a level up. He's one camp roughly. He's about to be 2 camps maybe, if you count it. Yeah. And now Hecarim just kind of has to clear, just full clear again. It's kind of boring jungle meta. As you see more trading in the top lane.
But there's a huge wave around Irelia. If she stayed any longer, she could have taken a lot of damage. But Clear Divide not even caring, taking one hit after another. Getting the triple proc, gets the grasp. One more auto is gonna do it. There we go. Oh my gosh, no 2 autos because she healed. Oh no. Taking off 1-1. Taking back the kill I have to do as jungler, wanting to just even it up, not wanting to get far behind in the beginning.
Yeah,
Platts did use heal and flash in a little 2v2 a little earlier as well.
Yeah, but I mean they have the shove. It looks like they might just shove this lane in, kind of get the BF sword. Jinx is at like 35 CS. I believe it's 39 or 40 CS for the BF sword.
13?
505.
And here we go.
Yep. And we see just kind of the trading. And this Irelia getting the kill is super detrimental here, right? I mean, it's one of those lanes that is super snowballing. If Irelia gets this first kill, you may just start seeing her rack up kills, on Gnar, kill 2, kill 3, unless this Gnar plays really safe, right? So Hecarim now has to identify that, okay, my top side is stronger. Let me maybe trade early dragon for early Herald and kind of start snowballing this top side, and it'll be looking to Irelia to kind of have this TP advantage and see if she can impact either mid lane or bot lane, right? At level 6, we'll see what EDG does. I think their dragon fight is just a little bit stronger with Orianna Ball this early in the game. So we'll see what happens. We see Graves just clearing out vision, giving some safety and applying a little bit of pressure onto Irelia so Nar can farm. Really good stuff. I mean, just really standard, smart play by both teams, really. Other than that little blunder by Hecarim, I think he's been, on a steady path to recovery. He's just kind of full clearing.
And here we have a few first buys coming in. I guess the Vampiric Center with the lifesteal just early up to just stay alive against the Gnar with that poke, with that grass, able to get the poke down on her. We have the new quiver coming out from Graves. Early boots coming in from Orianna, wanting to dodge away from Victor. All his skill shots so that she doesn't get hit, doesn't take unnecessary damage on that. It looks like it's going to be... Oh my gosh.
Good gang. Really good gang, guys. We see some more action in the mid. So that was a really good play by bottom. Like I mentioned earlier, right? Jinx is so very positioning based that if she steps out of position, this Hecarim and Leona will just eat her up. Like take her and just take her to the back and shoot her. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna abuse the fact that she has very bad, no mobility, no positioning, and they know that she burned Flash earlier, like you mentioned.
It just came up. As she was walking back to the lane.
Very good. Yeah. As we see, a little bit of Hecarim has the flank. He pops the ghost.
Yeah, goes on in. Well, stunned by her. Leona. Oh my gosh, tries to flash underneath the dragon. Doesn't do anything. Night take Tilt Lord. Might want to blast cone over. They stall. They try to pull it out. Very smart play by them. Jinx trying to poke from the side. Again, not giving them anything.
Yeah.
Taking on the first dragon.
Very good flank. I mean, they'd had to have known that Hecarim was behind them, right? You saw him from one of your wards go into the blue side jungle of Graves. It was just kind of a misplay on mid lane's part, and just a very arrogant thing to do, actually, right? Jinx died. He's trying to go for drag, thinking that they might have backed. As we see more action in the top.
Fangu might be a little too eager to take on Gnar again. He wasn't low at all. Able to jump out quite easily.
Yeah, and unfortunate. I mean, these junglers, these teams are, they really need to understand like where everybody is, and we see on the warding side, EDG only has I think one pink ward up right now. I want to see a lot more pinks out of these guys. I want to see mid lane. I want to see Graves. I want to see all these guys buying pinks and placing them in the river. Right? You gotta keep track of this Hecarim, because if you don't, he will run you over. He will steamroll over your team. As we see a small CS advantage in both mid lane and the jungle right now.
I mean, as we expected as well, Irelia. Oh, Adam wanted to find Mr. McFig using his flash, just getting it out for nothing really. So good trade for them.
Yeah, and that really dampens Nautilus's pressure onto Kai'Sa as we see some action onto the mid lane.
Yeah, Chaos Storm going on Orianna as well. Man, wherever Nautilus, oh my gosh, what are the team's names? Hecarim. Wherever he goes, just constant pressure coming out. Like Graves wants to do something about this. Adam jumping onto Night King Tilt Lord. Saw shadows, but not enough. Both are so low, both ults are used. Night Tilt Lord being the one to fall. Gel tries to push away Knights.
Yeah, and you see that's just the power of Hecarim, right? You see Graves almost being able to beat this Hecarim, but he had Noon Quiver and everything, while Hecarim only had a Ruby Crystal and a Longsword. So the matchup isn't really, like I said, advantageous, as we see a good roam from the top lane. Oh, Irelia's TPing.
Yeah, here's the TP, see if she can do anything. Tries to land a stun onto Clear Divide. Not close enough. Clear Divide might just get away. Let's put the ward down to jump over to him. Clear Divide. Again, just throwing boomerangs, staying calm. He's gonna walk away and get a free kill.
Yeah, really good roam by Gnar. He didn't have to use the TP. Now he has TP advantage over Irelia, and we see, Unbound and Team 2's bot lane kind of just pushing in and taking a bit advantage of the kills and the assists that they have on EDG, and I really want to see Narc as he TPs actually up top instead of walking, so he can get all that farm. He is behind almost 30 CS, which is a lot in this case because they're both even on 1 kill. So this is, I guess, you have to use a TP here. You don't want to miss another wave or two. Almost 12 minions maybe, or 13 depending on what wave it is. So very good play. Now both top laners don't have TP. Looks like Victor's TP will be coming up or is up right now. So we'll see how he uses it. If he just uses it to kind of get back into lane, he's not doing too bad against the Orianna. All things considered, this matchup, I don't know if it's necessarily favorable for him. The Orianna buying the boots, making it harder to land all these skill shots. So we'll see when the team fights start breaking out a little bit more as EDG goes for this Herald. Uncontested, it looks like. Hecarim's on the bottom side of the map. I don't know if this is just good timing on EDG's jungler, knowing that Hecarim's bot side camps are up, or if he's just kind of flipping it here. But it's obviously not a flip because he just got it uncontested with a lot of good vision, like I mentioned. Right now they're placing down these pinks in the river. Top side pink, mid river pink, very good stuff. I want to see.
What do you want to see?
I want to see blue side. Start warding a bit more. I want to see Team 2 just get these pinks down. As I say, they put one on river.
Yeah, also Shadow's going on King Tilt Lord. That's gonna wait quite easily. There was a ping onto Infernal Drake, so they're aware that's gonna be coming up soon.
Yeah, and Hecarim's R is out. His ultimate is out. So this is maybe a good fight for EDG to take here in this drag. But we'll see if they can kind of use this ultimate advantage to their favor.
So yeah, this jungler and bot lanes back and forth is trying to land a little bit of poke on either side. Irelia finishing that Fleet of the Ruined Kings just to make it even harder for Nar to do anything. Trying to take the blue just before the Infernal Drake pops up, taking all the farm away from Graves that he can. Oh, here comes Noble though. Mid lane's joining the prey. Here we go. Looks like it's just gonna be. Oh, is it? Might just be a little dead and just give away the dragon.
Yeah, it looks like Team 2 will just be getting the dragon almost uncontested. I mean, they did see Graves use that smite earlier, I believe on the Grom or on one of the team members. But yeah, I think that's just a clear indication that Team 2 can just take the dragon. Unfortunately, the first 2 dragons are ocean and fire dragon, so they won't really get some of the most stronger dragons in the game. But it is Earth Dragon, which is better than Cloud Soul. Maybe in this case it actually isn't, right? Because of the Hecarim move speed and the ultimate cooldown and everything, it might actually have been in their benefit to get Cloud Soul in this game specifically.
Yeah, the one game where they needed it, they don't get it.
Yeah, they get the. I mean, not to say Mountain Dragon is horrible or anything.
Yeah.
Extra resistance, free resistances, and a shield are pretty good. But they will be looking to push Soul Point in the next 9 to 10 minutes, which is about the 25 minute mark, 27 minute mark. So it'll be really early a Soul win condition if they can get all these dragons in. But these team fights are really going to rely on Orianna hitting these 2 to 3 man shockwaves. I don't think they can afford to just kind of shockwave one person and burn a bunch of stuff just to kill one. I don't think that's really efficient in this specific game, right? If they catch out if they catch out the Irelia, maybe it's good. But if they catch out like the Leona, it's not really beneficial to burn the Orianna ult in this case for Leona. But kind of standard farming and jungle farming here. We don't really see a lot happening right now. Clearing of wards, just kind of laning phase. Very small goal advantage on Team 2's side. So what do you think are the win conditions for each of these teams now that we've kind of seen the laning phase kind of play out? Towers, plating is gone.
I was wondering what the kind of the compensation was for the 2 dragons. It looks like I'm seeing it right now with Whip Herald just being dropped. Hopefully getting the first tower of the game.
Oh!
Graves. Oh my gosh, Flashpoint Gala being sniped out, but here comes Hacker right behind. Doesn't want to really do anything as it's going to be a 2v1, trying to back, develop, and weave out of this one. Not doing a good job of it as King Tiltlord getting it shut down. 2 kills for himself. The bot lane.
Lots of roaming.
Trying to come up, but here comes the top as well. Both sides stunned up on either one of them. Noble and King Tiltlord being taken out for that one. That's supposed to be a 2v2. Yeah,
2 for 2. I mean, you trade jungle and mid for jungle and mid. Very very even trade. I mean, Irelia getting the second kill, and it looks like Kaisa got one of the kills. So I think it's overall probably better that it went to these two. I mean, Kaisa will be more of a late game threat, and she scales a lot. She scales pretty well. Not that she's saying she necessarily outscales Jinx, but getting to her, 1-2 item power spike a little bit sooner will be beneficial for this upcoming drag that's in about 2 minutes, right? So we'll see how they. We see TPs coming in.
Those 2 TPs right from behind him. Mr. Gallic, he gets ulted by everything. Gonna come in and go out the same way he came.
Oh man, Kaisa and Leona just left him. They're like, all right, you TPing in? Peace, man. You're 0-2, you're 0-3 now. I gotta keep this 1-0-2 lead, man. Kaisa and Leona are just, I don't know, man. KDA players, I'm not really sure what the communication was. They just kind of left their Victor to die. Caught him with his pants down, I guess.
Hey, they could have just backed off, not needed the TP, but it was they were like kind of at the exact same time. Clear Divide, just use his jump. He needs to wait. Use the flash. Onside shot just over Clear Divide. Knocks him the oh my gosh, that was so close.
So almost a whole lot of nothing there. A whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing there. It's kind of like
a whole lot of something. Oh, yeah. Maybe it is a whole lot of something as King to Lord trying to take one more on to Adam. That's gonna get 3 and 2 Graves with the immortal shield bow.
Yeah, and I bet he wish he had Onslaught of Shadows there instead of chasing a Gnar. I mean, he gets the free crab, thanks Gnar for the leash, and then he's like, you know what, I want more. He took too big of a bite, and he suffered for it. As we see, Orianna just honestly getting these really good ultis, following up with Graves. I mean, this mid jungle duo, whoever, however long they've been playing, however long this team's been playing, they're very coordinated when it comes to who they're going to kill and how they're going to kill somebody. A lot of burst damage out there, right? And Victor really needs to watch what he's doing. I mean, Orianna has the Luden's power spike. I don't know if Victor's going to back here and maybe pick it up. 30 minutes before this dragon, it looks like Team 2 is setting up Vision, but EDG kind of has, all the pinks and all the regular wards out there right now, so it looks like they might just have to Team 2 just might have to concede this dragon, unfortunately.
Yeah, unreliable guy. Oh my gosh. Care about the dragon, just gets a solo kill on the top side.
Where did he go? Where did he go?
That's what we ask ourselves every day. Unreliable guy that thing was backing, so wasn't able to actually clear any of the wards out. So it seems like finally they're gonna get some compensation, a classic. Give them 2 dragons, and we get the other 4.
Very good TP. They need to take this fight. They need to take this fight in the next 10 or 15 seconds, or start the dragon, force them to come in. Right now, they have the 5v4. Gnar won't have the rage bar when he spawns in. So even if he does TP, he's going to be kind of useless, and unfortunate blunder by top lane. He really kind of... Oh!
They blundered themselves. Nails the rocket. The amazing super mega death rocket saying death to the dragon, and thank you very much. Crying for themselves.
I'm not even gonna blame that on the jungler. That's not Hecarim's fault. That mega death rocket has like infinite, I guess, it has like an almost infinite scaling if you fire it, depending on how far you fire it from. It'll just keep racking up damage. But really, Leona or somebody should have been in front of the dragon pit waiting for that. That's a mistake that'll hopefully only happen once, and they'll understand, like, okay, I gotta stand in front of the dragon pit and block it. Unfortunate, but really good by... Oh
my gosh, Adam trying to just get some compensation for losing that Mountain Drake. Looks like it's gonna be over now. Victor.
Herald resets.
Yeah, Victor trying to just shake him off of it. Looks like it's just gone from Dragon Pit up to Rich Herald Pit, but they're gonna all leave it alone. All shake hands, and say maybe next time.
Yeah, and Orianna's kind of just stuck in the side lane. She does. Her TP is coming up. I kind of wish they would have moved. I don't know if they should keep this Gnar up top lane. Aurelia's killed him twice now, and he's probably going to kill him again at this point if just Hecarim comes in. But now we see kind of the jungle matchup, right? Graves got these early kills. Now he can kind of just fight Hecarim and just kind of bully him around a bit, right? This is very, very good on the junglers. I think he's 3 and 2. He's using his power. He's flexing his muscles. As we see a little bit of action, trading some damage.
Yeah, just trying to pass the ball, just trying to play a game of catch, but little deadly for Leona on that side.
And really what Team 2 needs to do here, is they really need to get their Victor on this one item. They need to get him his Mythic. They need to leave him alone in the side lane, maybe in the top lane, match him up against Gnar or match him up, in the bot lane and just have him wave clear because he doesn't have his Mythic yet, and it's hurting on the damage side.
I mean, he has 1,500 gold in the pocket. He just needs to have time to back. But again, there's 4 people around his tower. That might be a good way to back himself.
Yeah, mid tier 2 looks like it's going to go down pretty soon. As they see Graves in here, they need to catch him. What is he doing?
Oh my gosh, there's no one there to help him. He ults away. Had a big shockwave onto Leona to stop that engage.
I think Graves was looking up like a pro builds or something. I don't know what he was looking at. Maybe Mobile Fire, for anybody that knows what that is. If you guys are old enough League players, yeah, he's maybe on Mobile Fire guides and trying to look up a build.
Is that not a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people know Mobile Fire anymore. Honestly, everybody uses OPGG or BlitzGG. I don't know, man. I'm a bit of a boomer when it comes to that stuff.
Okay, it's been a while since I looked up a build. All right.
Yeah.
It's not.
But I mean, he gets away, uses the flash, has to kind of burn everything. Really crucial though. This dragon's gonna come up in a minute, and now they know Graves doesn't have flash, which is super important, right? Because if they can catch him out, only thing he has is in a kind of a dash. It doesn't really go too far. He might have to burn his ulti again just to get out if they catch him. Leona should be looking for this pick on Graves, I think. Everybody else, if they're timing flashes, they should know that the rest of EDG has their flashes up. So I'm hoping this support is timing that kind of stuff. As Graves thanks Hecarim for the leash on the Scuttle. And we kind of just see this, farming state here. We see Leona trying to get some vision by herself. Very dangerous, but it's going to go unpunished. Just kind of walking in, getting this deep vision. That's a good TP ward if they don't clear it. Both of them they put, but Nautilus doing his due diligence like a good support, clearing all these wards out. Missing the one actually in his own jungle near that wolf, that little crucial try. So we'll see how that plays out. Could be a good flank for Irelia if she can actually utilize it in the next minute when drag comes up.
Here's Victor just taking a little bit of poke from Platts. Oh my gosh.
They're just bullying this guy.
Yeah, this Kraken Slayer, no joke in this game. Finally, Victor got back. He got a little spooked from having poor people around his home, and he left and grabbed a little item of his own. But now I have Dragon popping up soon.
Yeah, 30 seconds, about 33 seconds. It'll be really interesting to see, what these two AD carries kind of itemized towards. I see the Serrated Dirk, and then I also see the Zeal on Kai'Sa's side. I'm gonna be very disappointed if they go Collector. I'm very against Collector as an item. I'm very against it on Kai'Sa. I don't think it's that good. I think there's a lot of better options you can go. You can just go for the IE Runins even, or PD. Kind of rush that. You don't need the lethality on her. You don't need that execute passive, and honestly, that 20 gold is not going to make a difference. 25 gold. But we'll see what happens.
EDG just having huge control over the dragon pits. T1 needs to. Team 2 T2 has to find some way to get in, like we saw last time. They successfully did last time. Unfortunately, had the death already come in. But here comes Gnar. Gnar's up just in time. Jumping in. Gnar's back.
In.
Not going to get anyone. Psych. Oh my gosh, the shockwave on it too! Finger bite being taken out as well! Oh my god, 3v3! One more falls. Oh, that is going to be a Aurelia falling. It looks like Unbound trying to do what she can onto 3. Not able to do it. Gallo, last one alive. Takes out Jinx, but not going to take out King Tilt Lord once again. Tilting the other team, taking out the mountain. It's going to be a 5-2-0 left in this game.
Yeah, and just really... we kind of saw the power of both of these compositions, right? In that huge team fight, right? Orianna hitting like a huge 2-man shockwave, but diving in, Kai'Sa, I didn't see her use her ult. I think if she would have dived in with that Hecarim, right? Got onto the backline, blown up that Gnar, maybe blown up the Orianna even. We would have seen a lot different. But yeah, Kai'Sa holding onto her ult, not getting the shield. Very, must have been a misplay. Must have been, the jitters. I don't really know what happened, but not using her ulti, a big blunder there, right? Kai'Sa really needs to push what little lead she had, but now it's Jinx picking up these kills, going for the Phantom Dancer, and Kai'Sa looks like, I think she's actually going for Collector, which, I don't really have any comment on it. I don't, I'm kind of against the Collector, but we'll see if it ends up working out. Let's see how many people she executes with Collector. But yeah, Leona kind of preemptively engaging, getting an engage on Nautilus, not really who you wanted to get it on. You're not going to blow him up. You're not going to really do much. I was hoping to see the Graves But again, if their timing flashes, Jinx flash is down, Gnar flash is down, Graves flash is down still for a little bit as Graves takes the blue. And we'll just see, right? Leona has her flash up, Kai'Sa has her flash up, Irelia has her flash up. This should be a really good fight in Team 2's favor. Very close game, very competitive, right? 1,000 gold lead, or 800 gold lead.
Out though, King Lord, the one to push everything, tries to get a few Qs onto himself. King is falling so low. Oh my god, the Unsolid Outsider is gonna be the one to take him out. Clearified gets the Gnar into the wall. Adam left.
Jinx is nowhere here. Jinx is not even close.
Clearified falling one by one. Double kill for the side of Adam.
Yes.
Wild guy. He's ulted underneath the tower. They're taking tower shot after tower shot. Finally, Noble gonna be awarded the kill for the tower taking damage. That's why you said Platz craze, and that whole time hitting that mid tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, just getting the tier 2 down. I'm not sure if that actually worked. I mean, she did get up probably a lot of minion gold. She probably did amp it up, her item power spike. Irelia did get, it looks like she got 2 kills there. Victor kind of clawing his way back. He was 0-3 at one point, if you guys do remember. He's 2-4 now, 2-4-2, and we'll kind of see. I want to see the Zhonya's on Victor. I think it's very hard to kind of catch out of Victor once he goes Zhonya's because he drops the gravity field. He could drop the Chaos Storm and then Zhonya's, and you can't really walk into him, right? You can't really do anything after that. You just kind of have to wait all of it out. Kai'Sa not really doing a lot of damage. We kind of saw. I didn't really see, her damage coming up because she has the Collector as her second item. Would have loved to see the rune on. Huh? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I just, Collector. Collector. You really need that lethality. You really need that lethality. And you really need that execute passive, right?
That lethality is the
it's a defining factor.
Character? Which character do you want the lethality against? I'm not sure.
Oh, I am. Not, yeah, that lethality is really good. That passive, the execute, where if they're below 5% health, it's really, really crucial, right? Because if you 5% of 3,000, well, 10% of 3,000 is 300. As you see, some aggression.
Oh my god! Shockwave from Noble, 100 to 0ing. Gala it's nothing. That's gonna be once again top tier 1. That's 4 towers on the side of ADG for 0 and 1 in the bottom tower in exchange for tier 2.
Yeah, and you really just kind of see Graves always hovering around Orianna. If you guys are watching, he's always kind of shadowing this Orianna when they're in the side lane, just in case he might lose that 1v1. Graves is there to come in and KS, kill secure, and help this Orianna out. And I think they're really taking advantage of this Victor. He is a substitute mid laner. This is not who they're used to playing. Team 2 is not used to playing with this guy, so it's very interesting. I think Hecarim should look to push the advantage with Irelia in the side lane. I think she should be matching Orianna. If they're smart, they should be matching Orianna, and Irelia should be matching her, and then just Gnar and Victor should be trying to match the Gnar, right? Because I think this Irelia isn't distributing her power that well, and we kind of just see Jinx going into the IE. She might have it up. No, she won't have it up before the next dragon. So we're gonna see the kind of damage difference that's gonna have, right?
Yeah, oh my!
See another ulti. Oh my god! Late flash.
Yeah, Hecarim just jumping in, trying to get them off of Gala. It worked, but does he fall as well? He does not. We have the dragon number 3, Mountain Drake. Let's go straight to EDG once again.
Yeah, and it's getting harder and harder to kill EDG. These resistances stack up. I believe it's 6% on armor and magic resist. Could be wrong. It might be 4. But that stacks up, right? Oh, he just walks up. Leona should be face checking there, not the Victor.
I think you're trying to do what you can on the top side, but just gets the top tier 1. Gnar TPing back with that entry of her own. Irelia now has the TP, so I'm able to do something with that. It's 2 TPs to 1, so we'll see if anything can come from that. It's only 2,000 gold ahead, but they do have currently 18% more armor and magic resist. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what? Jungler's like, you didn't ask for this. This is not yours. This is my blue. I'm actually needed. I need cooldowns. I need my E up longer. Sorry, Orianna.
I think if New needs blue between Orianna and Graves, it's Graves every time.
Yeah, Graves every time. He needs to refresh his E a little bit faster. He needs the CDR. We see Orianna pick up the Morello Nomicon third item. Very interesting pick. Looking just, I guess, cut the healing down on Team Two's most, healthiest and strongest members on Hecarim and Irelia. You see Irelia, she has that uh, Sterax Gauge, the Bork, and everything. Bit of a savant move by Graves if he goes Serpent's Fang here. It'll be really effective on both Irelia and Hecarim. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he does it. If he doesn't do it, I'm not going to flame him for it. It's not the Collector. So,
No,
what I mean.
ain't the Collector, really.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think the game should just have 10 Collectors. I think everybody on each team should have a Collector because it's just that good. For 3,000 gold, you get lethality, an execute passive, an extra 20 gold on your kills, some AD and crit chance. What's not to love, right? Anyways.
Actually, but hey, that's just me.
Yeah. And we'll see. I think this is just, if EDG plays this right, they've kind of got this 2,000 gold lead. All they really need to do as they see some aggression.
Once again, oh my gosh, King Lord coming in from the side, trying to do the damage that he can onto Adam. Cannot do it yet. It's just poking along as they walk down the mid lane. I really coming in from the side, see if they kind of re-engaged.
Oh!
And once again, getting pushed right back. I don't really like trying to jump into the team, but has Jinx stop her. Shockwave by 2. Oh my gosh, Jinx, you're insane! Adam once again being taken down Unbound, being bounded up by the enemy. That's crazy, taking a kill of her own. Triple kill for King Titlord, and that's everyone dead. Do they go for the end? I believe they do.
I think they can end here. They can just go for this. Jinx is taking towers, They have the double AD with Graves. They have these autos with Orianna. I think they can just take it here, right? They should be able to end.
I mean, I hope so, unless the Collector comes in handy.
Yeah, unless Kai'Sa's Collector comes in hand and collects them a win, but it looks like it's actually collected them a loss for game 1. Really good stuff in the beginning, early game, super close, but kind of seemed that EDG kind of ran away with it once they kept chain killing mid lane over and over and over again. Really, really good stuff on EDG. Spent really, really smart usage of their ultis. Really smart usage of, understanding cooldowns and how to combo their abilities. Just real smart stuff. Really smart stuff. What adjustments are you looking for Team 2 to make here, in regards to the next game? What do they need to do? What identifiable problems did you see?
I mean, what happened? It seemed like up until 20-25 minutes, it was a 1 to 2K game. It was very close up until that point. But then we see this very commonly as well, whereas 2 drags are given to one team, and the other team tries to get advantages elsewhere. This time in the Rift Herald and getting towers. They gave them 2 dragons, but then once the Mount Drake came up, they focused on that dragon. They pretty sneakily stole the first Mountain Drake with the Jinx ult. That's fair. I just knocked a bunch of cups because I was so scared of it again. I want to, but yes, in that way, focus on what they have to do instead of what the enemy is doing. Now, it's often Graves got ahead, wanting to push his lead, but not losing focus of what your team wants to do as well.
Yeah, and they really just kind of abused the Graves lead onto the Hecarim. You saw Graves just constantly taking these fights, being a bully, just being super annoying to this Hecarim. He's like, hey, I'm going to chunk you out, and now you can't come to drag. Hey, I'm going to chunk you out. You can't engage on my team, right? A half-health Hecarim ulting into your team is not as scary as a full-health Hecarim. I don't want to flame Gaia too much just because, he is a sub. He was playing, he was pushed onto a champion that he doesn't maybe regularly play too much. But I'm hoping that they try to actually just first pick him a stable mid laner. Give him something easy, man. Give him Annie. I don't really care at this point. Give him like a very stable, safe mid laner. Maybe hopefully they try to give him Malzahar in the first rotation, right? Because we saw Eastern Dragon Gaming, they banned Malzahar and they banned Vigar out. On the last 2 of their bans, and just directly targeting the mid lane, right? Getting Unbound and Team 2. Yeah, getting Unbound and Team 2 on getting their mid laner onto something very easy to execute will be, I think, beneficial. Because we saw how Topside did. Topside can win, right? Topside knows how to push their lead. The blunders happened, on these kind of greedy dragons, right? I mean, the first dragon being taken, like you said, by the Jinx rocket, and all this vision, and kind of just snowballing out, really just not working in Team Two's favor, right? I really would have loved to see Irelia kind of try to get these flanks. I mean, Leona was putting down the flank TP wards, but they just weren't being utilized correctly. We really get to see want to see the bot lane kind of, I want to see a little bit more aggression. We saw EDG's bot lane move around the map more, right? And that's something that is very important. The concept of movement and where you're placing yourself in position to objectives in relative to all this stuff, right? You saw EDG's bot lane utilize that. Okay, we're strong, we can do this. We have Nautilus, we can roam a bit more. We have a bit more pick potential with his hook, with his R. We can lock people down. And you always saw Graves almost always shadowing Orianna in the side lanes, just in the fact that if a fight breaks out, if a 2v2 breaks out, they'll win. So very, very good stuff on EDG's side. I really liked how they used their mid jungle duo and kind of just flexed around the map everywhere. Even kind of almost shutting down this Irelia and making her a non-issue. Well, I mean, what do you want to see in regards to EDG side? Do you think they need to work on anything? Do you think they should just go for the same draft, or do you think they should be targeting mid lane a bit more? Just because they've already pushed him off to something really
Mhm.
uncomfortable. If they throw like another ban there, who knows? Maybe the next game is a wrap.
Yeah. I mean, if that happens, I hope that they go for something along the lines of an Annie, just to make it simple. Like, keep it simple, stupid, kiss. And that way. With the bot lane, we saw like the side of Team 2 kind of put a lot of aggression on EDG at the beginning, with Jinx having to use both of her summoners just to stay alive in that early part. And again, Irelia, so like you said, Irelia had the presence of the top lane, so maybe trying to hold back and not wanting her to get ahead as far as they did would also be something to help along those lines. So
Yeah.
just trying to stay alive until the end is, and it seemed like the end is where they wanted.
hmm And yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd love to see what happens in these game two adaptations. We're gonna take a short break before we get into game two. Stick around. Hopefully it's a good 3-game series. I want to see Team Two kind of bounce back from this, and I want to see them, get their mid laner on something comfortable. I think that is the main, you know, win condition for them. Get their mid laner on something comfortable. I think for EDG side, they just need to get a more favorable top matchup, right? So we'll see what adjustments are made. Like I said, I don't like the blind Gnar, but we're gonna go cut into a break. See you guys in a bit. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody, as we're into game 2 of EDG versus Team 2. A very exciting first game. I think very close up until the end, as we see Team 2 just go for the Nivea ban again. EDG banning out Ornn. I think we're going to see the same bans, Ornn, Udyr. I really want to, like we said, we discussed, we really want to see Team 2 kind of get these easier to play mid laners, the Veigar getting banned, and we'll see what EDG first picks, right? I think a very strong first pick here is Seraphine. Like right now, if they just lock Seraphine, they win the game. Yeah,
There we go.
I just called it. Yeah, if they lock Seraphine, they win. That's the best blind. I'm unsure about the Olaf ban on from Team 2 side. When you're red side, you have to ban Seraphine. Like it's you have to. It's EDG has the best blind in the game right now, right? She can go mid, she can go bot, she can go support, she can do everything. She can do it all. Oh, but tier 2 picking up the Senna. I like the Senna pick. I think they recently did nerf the interaction with the Ginsu's Rapid Fire and Kraken Slayer, but I still think that build is really good. We saw Senna picked earlier. We saw Senna being picked earlier anyways, and I think it's still a good pick. It's still being picked up right now. I want to see what they pair with it. They might just go the Tom Kench. That would be kind of interesting. Not really good in Seraphine if it is a supporter bot Seraphine, but the Shyvana jungle. Is this an AP Shiv? Tell me now.
No.
No, I'm sad.
You just yes. I don't know.
Yeah, oh, there we go. Yeah.
You told me to tell you one way or the other, so
yeah,
it's an AP Shiv.
There we go. I mean, interesting pick. Definitely spicy. Definitely fast clear times. Shyvana does have a fast clear time. Her clear time is pretty fast.
I'm looking at the differences between the first and the second draft. Actually, it seems like EDG really just swapped up their Veigar and Seraphine. Because they were on red side last time they banned the Seraphine, now they can pick it instead. I mean, if Orianna was noble second choice, I don't want to see what their Nivea is like. If that's what they're choosing to ban instead of the Orianna as well. Yeah,
maybe Team 2 can kind of pick up the Mouse before it gets banned. The Morgana, maybe the Karma. There's a lot of good, like, safe, neutralizing mid lane picks. And I think that's what they really need to go for here. As we see the Bard. Wow. Interesting. We do see it picked into Seraphine. Bard is one of the yep, it is the Bard. Yeah, Bard is an interesting pick with the Senna. Really allows her to be a bit more mobile with these portals, trying to get her out a little bit safer. And really combos well, right? If Senna hits that bind, the Wraith bind, it'll be really interesting to see, how Bard can kind of combo up. Matching up into the Jinx Seraphine, Senna's gonna have to take a bit of damage walking up for CS, but I mean Bard has those health pools or health, packs that he puts down, those charms and everything like that. And hopefully what I see from tier 2 side is this Bard roaming. We didn't see a lot of roaming on both the support side. So hopefully Bard's gonna look to ban a bunch of stuff here. As EDG bans the Irelia, they don't want to see that again. They didn't like it the first time, and honestly, it was disgusting. That Gnar was getting 2-tapped, 3-tapped, like it was nothing. As we see Team 2, ban the Urgot.
Yeah, I think Team 2 banned the Urgot for real, and now it's once again, I believe it's skipping the last ban because of switches with Gaia and such. Look around, it's trying to see what's been switched, what's been swapped. Irelia banned the first time, as well as Malzahar was banned last time. And there we go once again. Want to take Gaia off of what they are comfortable with, being the new guy, being no one on this team. Just trying to maximize that that damage that can change. But tier 2 completely. I was looking at what was different about this team from the last team. Tier 2 completely switching their team of what it was last time. I'm excited to see how this comp works out for them and what it builds into as Renekton as well.
Take the Irelia away, give me Renekton. Renekton, another really strong early game pick here. I don't know how it really synergizes with this composition, right? Senna's very scaling. Shyvana, I assume, will be scaling. She doesn't really become a champion until level 6. She's her ganks are kind of as intimidating as a pre-reworked Warwick when he would kind of just run at you and spin around in a circle. Didn't really do much back then.
Man, really
So I
showing the
don't.
boomerness, but all right. Okay. It's
Hey
been a
man,
while.
you gotta educate some of these. You gotta educate some of these Zoomers that are doing like Flash, Lee Sin, insects into like everything. I may be old, but you guys gotta realize this game was very different back then. A lot of
Nor
less
was I
intimidating.
only jungler that I've ever played. I don't ever play jungle. So I'm upset that they changed Warbrick because that was the easiest clear I've ever done.
As we see the Zillion Nocturne. Was this a Nocturne mid? This has no,
Where's
no, no.
Vedius? Where's
No,
Vedius?
what? Yeah, what is this? What is happening? What am I looking at? Is it Seraphine top, or Seraphine top, Nocturne mid, or Seraphine mid, Nocturne top, Zillion support?
It's Hecarim
Zillion?
top.
Ah, yeah, I could be wrong. It might be Hecarim top.
It's-
As we see the Yone coming out. I don't know who's piloting this. We might see Gaia on support here. I'm not sure how the role locking works. I don't know if you're forced to just play the role that you've signed up for. But we're gonna see who's piloting this Yone. Maybe Gaia's got a secret Yone. Maybe he's the way of the Tempest. Maybe in touch with his inner weeaboo side. He can channel his Demon Slayer or whatever you guys watch, and trying to cut this team down. Very interesting comp. Who do you think wins draft here? EDG or
Who do
Team
I think? Well, I don't know where any of EDG is going, so that sucks. Tier 2, I could assume EDG is just all going to the river. So on that note, I think Tier 2 wins the draft. Outside of that,
who has the easier to execute composition? I think it's EDG, right? Like they definitely have.
That's a fair question. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a fair question at that point.
Yeah, they have a very click R kind of composition. Nocturne very strong. I don't know if he's gonna go into the jungle. If he's gonna go into the mid lane, I don't. Maybe EDG's kind of flexing because they realize that Gaia isn't the strongest of laners. But getting the Yone, it's kind of crazy. We're gonna really see what's happening. I'm really excited. Hey, you know where Team 2 is going. You know the Shyvana's going in the jungle. You know the Renekton's going top. You know the Yone is going mid. So very interesting to see here. I think EDG, well, where they flex the Seraphine? That is the big question. We obviously know Jinx going ADC.
It can be
Right?
either.
Yeah.
All right, hopefully Hecarim mid. All right, and then what is the mid pick? Is it Seraphine or Zillion? I believe the other one will go into the support role.
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, you would think. The thing is, both of these supports pair well with Jinx, right?
Mm-hmm. They don't know.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have the Seraphine, provides the survivability, provides the CC follow up with her ultimate and everything, has the heals, has the shields. But I mean, Zillion works too, right? Gets the double bomb in, gets a lot of damage, speeds Jinx up, which can be terrifying if she gets her passive off. Plus Zillion's E, she starts zooming really fast. She starts zooming, and just having the Zillion up to keep her alive, right? This is so interesting, right? Because what'll happen, what looks like it'll happen is Zillion will either preemptively ult the Hecarim or the Nocturne, and then as they go in, that ult lasts, a fair bit of time, and even if you burst one of these diving dudes down, they're gonna get revived. You're gonna kill them again.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I give draft edge to EDG. It's not even like a 60-40. I think it's like a 75-25. Team 2 is really just going to have to pop off early game and end this before 20 minutes. Unless they just have Senna scale super hard with souls and items. She'll have to get the Kraken Slayer, the Rapid Fire, and the Gunstones before she starts doing, tons and tons of damage. We're going to see.
It seems hard even for Senna to get the souls because of how ranged the EDG side is. Actually, try to farm that. Usually, you can have like an Alistar or a Rel support just so that the Senna can actually maybe farm them from there. But looking at the side of EDG, they don't really have any tank looking at it from Senna's point of view. So if it can't be within the 20-25 minute mark, like you were saying, I don't see like Shyvana jumping in. trying to build a little tank if it's not the AP Shyvana. Bar, what does he build? So it's in the way that they're able to build in a way that AEG cannot win in the late side if they decide to do that.
Yeah. We're gonna have a small delay before we get into the game. This is a very interesting compositions on both sides. A lot of very different stuff. I think the Hecarim and the Jinx are the only two like consistent picks that we saw from last game. So it'll definitely be exciting. But we're gonna transition. We're gonna get into a little break and then we'll hop into the game and we'll see all the lane assignments, the runes, all that fun stuff. So stick around.
Yeah.
It looks to be an exciting game too.
Sorry, COVID.
Hopefully Team 2 can maybe pull it out and make it a 3-game series. And we're back into game 2. We kind of see all the lane assignments going out. We see EDG put the Nocturne top, the Zillion mid, Zillion running the Airy, the Hecarim running Phase Rush. Just very standard. I would see these runes are pretty standard. Nocturne going Conqueror up the top lane makes sense if he's going to be taking more extended trades. I'll kind of give him a bit more. I'm unsure how the Spell Shield reacts with Renekton's W, because it looks like a skill matchup if Nocturne can block Renekton's stun with his W, right? Like if that's how it works, then he loses a lot of the damage or a lot of the potential damage follow-up that Renekton has. As we see Shyvana with the Electrocute. What do you think? What do you make of this team comp? What does EDG want to do here?
What the heck does EDG want? That's a good question. Well, it's
Senna
hard.
healed.
Heck.
I don't know what happened, but Senna healed.
We don't need this. Well, Clear Divide and King Tilt Lord both want to go in on their Nocturne and Hecarim. Noble can just ult one of those two. But at the same time, Mr. and Platts want to stay out of the fight. So, do they want to go in or do they want to go out? That's the question. Oh, May Seraphine ults, gets the Zillion and the ult, but also bounces it off of King Tilt Lord and Clear Divide as well. So trying to get the maximum amount of range from that, maybe.
Yeah, we see
a lot of poking. It seems, or one trying to get picks instead of the team fight from last game.
Yeah, interesting. Good jungle start. Both of these junglers are starting on opposite ends. Actually, this time, so hopefully they'll trade crabs. I just wish junglers would opt into trading crabs more often, just because it gets you both to level 4. As we see Hecarim not go for the full clear on the bot side, actually going to red, Raptors blue, and he might clear the Gromp and look for a gank onto Renekton. They're probably going to try to get this Nocturne out of laning phase, you know, make sure he doesn't get bullied too much by the Rennie. Well, as we see some fun happening in the bot lane.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, what we saw last time where Minecraft is getting a little bit pushed up on in the beginning of the game, but Fangu on the Renekton, usually a main bully, but Clear Divide showing that he is the king of darkness around these parts. Trying to get around, but King Tilt Lord on the Hecarim. Get a little bit more damage, but Renekton flashing away. That's Flash gone on the top laner.
Yeah, and really good gank by Hecarim. We saw as some more aggression in the bot lane.
Yeah, Ignite popped down as well by an unreliable guy. Both just over 100 health. Gala jumping in for the entire way, basically.
And just a very different look from Gaia, right? He was playing the Victor kind of safe, kind of passive. This man is just going in on the Yone. He's using his abilities, forcing this Zillion to use all his mana. He's just slicing and dicing him. Not to be confused.
Platts Craze already uses his heal as well. So they just trade the heals, really. That's what they want. Oh my gosh. That was a close one. But yeah, just trying to balance it out. They knew that somehow they knew that Unbound uses heals, so they just wanted to, hey, I know you accidentally used it, so I'll use mine just to even it out.
Yeah, make it a fair gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
You know, as we see kind of a little bit more trading around and just farming, and we see the Hecarim pathing now going from Gromp to Wolves. Will probably hit his Raptors and his Golems that he never cleared. So those Golems will actually be, I believe, level 1, which is kind of inefficient, but gets the flash off at top. And we're honestly not going to see a lot of Shyvana in these lanes from what I imagine. This person will just be clearing, maybe really looking to secure an early 5 to 6 minute Drake.
Yeah, seems what they're trying to do. Fangus. Oh, we're seeing how that fear, a big part about how they get that damage to come with the Conqueror as well. After the fear, the Conqueror pops in with that. Just really dealing the damage, seeing how that can work against this Renekton.
Yeah, and honestly, didn't really mention that Seraphine doesn't have a support item. Oh, and never mind. She actually just sold it. Sold the Doran's ring and got the support item. As we see the roam from Bard, something we highlighted earlier, is Bard will be roaming.
Unfortunately, he just missed his stun with his Q. So almost got a kill onto Noble. It could have been a kill if they just playing the Q just a little bit better from that Bard. but gets the poke, gets the damage. Doesn't lose much in the bottom lane as well. So overall, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. 9 out of 10 with Rice is what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Might be another boomer meme. I don't know, man. I don't know what anybody knows. What is the hip stuff now? I don't know.
How old are you?
I'm 25 actually.
All right, 23.
Yeah.
We're all
We're
right.
close. We're a little close. As we see, Yon ulting Zillion.
All over the place. Rooted. Bard is he the first one to fall? Oh my god. One tour shot. Fastgrace gets 1 kill. Tries to get excited and shoot a bit more, but not going to be able to do it. Here we go. Platzcraze. Gonna get the first kill in this bottom lane.
Yeah, Jinx getting excited. Not too excited though. Unable to, finish the job in this case. Not being able to get the 2 kills. As we see the aggression from Yon. Unfortunately, nothing happened. I believe Zillion ulted himself and he rezzed himself, but still really good stuff on Gaia's part. Really trying to push this Yon, and honestly just see like a different player, right? A different kind of beast coming out of mid lane. Not the Victor, you know what? He said, I don't want the Malzahar. As we see the roam.
Oh, the Bard teleport going into the bottom lane. Adam trying to get that passive off.
Shyvana.
Make Fist gonna get fisted into the ground, but here comes TP coming down from Noble. Oh my gosh, it's going dark. Unbound gonna be bounded by Chains. Double kill onto Bard as well, and that's almost gonna be a triple kill. Yes, Shyvana gets out with a few hundred health of her own.
Yeah, and Nocturne goes lights out. He knocks him out, just like Mike Tyson. Kills 2, casually just walks, TP's in, ults him, almost point blank range, right? That is a point blank Nocturne, just ulting you. And really nothing bottom lane could have done. We saw how intimidating Shyvana was. Not that good. She just walked in and walked out and saw her teammates die next to her. Very valuable 2 kills on Nocturne. Renekton does trade a plate, and he is up 22 CS. So we'd love to see, maybe the gold disparity in that. But EDG coming out with a, 300 gold lead roughly. As we see some more aggression.
Down.
Forcing these ults out.
The ultimate just stays alive with that ultimate. Comes back. Yeah. Besides the gold disparity, there is actually none. It's 10 gold difference for the 2 of them.
Yeah.
So
10.
It's different kind of golds, but in the end, same amounts. Skills don't mean much. We're seeing.
Yeah, and honestly, this Yon is just pushing this Zillion out, really just shoving in waves to him. Zillion gets the blue handed off to him. And, we see Team 2 pick up the dragon with Shyvana. Very good. If you guys don't know what her passive does. Oh, Dominus pop.
Oh, the Conqueror pops, so both have Conqueror. Just a shutdown on the clear divide. Oh no, Gaia gets pulled back into 2, but flaps over, stays alive.
Yeah, and Renekton just did Renekton things, right? Regardless of how many kills Nocturne gets, Renekton will always be Renekton, and he'll just burst you down. It didn't look like Nocturne actually had his ultimate up, so he couldn't really ult and get the burst to kill Rennie. So Renekton had his dominance up, getting the shred damage off his passive, getting the rage, and just solo killing him essentially, right? And as we see,
where Nocturne uses spell shield, it was a little early as it was actually used when Fangu sliced through him. So I actually use up the spell shield for the slice instead of the stun, which as we see, kind of didn't turn out well for him in the end. There's now just about 1,000 gold up on his lane counterpart and clear divide.
Yeah, and really good. Again, we see, right, Team 2's star player, maybe not star player, but shining player in these past 2 games. It's their top laner. Hopefully, they look to kind of play towards them, as they don't look like they actually are. Making them play side, not contesting this Herald. I'd love to see them collapse on this Herald. Very good stuff.
A little fight having Gaia trying to get away onto clear divide, but he's going to teleport back. That's a Zillion bomb on. That's going to be first kill. Resurrecting. Now to the Nocturnes was a 2v3 still with the help of Noble.
Renekton.
Damage onto that King Tiltlord. Oh my gosh, so close. Gets one traded. Clear divide still low though.
What is he doing?
That turns back, takes one slice, takes him out as well.
He wanted to make it fair. He's like, hey, man, you want to kill? You want one? I'll give you another one, dude. I'll give you 2 kills. And it looks like it is going into an AP Shyvana. I don't know how I feel about the Electrocute. I'd love to see the Dark Harvest that's traditionally gone on them. It looks like she's going into the Nashors first. Probably into, we'll see what Mythic Shyvana actually chooses to go into. Interesting trade. Zilean got the 2 kills. Really unfortunate for Yone because Gaia was really putting a lot of pressure onto mid, if you recall, just ulting him off of CD and forcing Zilean to ult himself and just pushing waves into him. But Zilean getting these 2 kills, getting the boots, getting the lost chapters, so good for him, right? Very detrimental. We see a fight breaking out.
Yeah, the Conqueror already procced on the clear divide, so he's having that heal. I guess having to pop his ult, just get the health back. And Dominance can be used just to keep him alive.
Yeah, and now we'll see how these trades go. Now that he knows Dominance is down, Nocturne's ultimate should be up beforehand. We'll see if he just ults Nocturne. As we see Rennie just waiting in the bush. Very sneaky stuff. Sneaky Crocodile here. Not solid snake, solid Crocodile. So we'll see what happens.
All right.
Oh,
little slice and dice real quick. A little bit.
Just see some
with this
trading.
food.
Oh my god! Where did his health go? What?
Oh wow!
Were those bombs made by the USA? Like, what was that? Oh, those are huge, dude. Those are massive. That did so much damage. Half his health is gone.
Gone.
It's gone.
But the intensity made us lose our voice. We just spent the last like 15 seconds talking about that. Oh, it's like Fango. Oh, that heal on his. Dude, just to keep him alive.
1 bomb. And Hecarim has just been trying to sneak this Herald. Not sneaky enough.
So close.
And we should really see anything just pathing down here. Gets the smite though. We'll probably have to ult out.
Okay, also shout descending on the dragon, keep it alive. That's gonna be 4v1 in the end. That's 5-5 in kills.
And they took Hecarim out back. They made some glue out of him. It looks like they just kind of, they just kind of took him. They took him and they said, "Hey, we need you for something. Your leg's broken. You can't have this Herald. Stop trying to sneak it." They realize he's a bad horse. He's not gonna race anymore. He's got to go back to the jungle and just farm it. I honestly don't know where I'm going with this long-winded rant.
So anyways, sending fields from getting trapped. Once again, tier 2. Oh no, she flashed but still is in it. Oh, that's crazy. Do they capitalize? Of course they do. She has nowhere to go.
And this is another dragon for Team 2, right? This game is going a lot better.
Yeah, tier 2. Really switching it up, changing up 3k gold lead at 13 minutes. I mean, this k gold lead was not a thing until over 25 minutes last game, so pushing forward. Is there Collector, though? That's also what we're looking at, but Bard.
Yeah, Bard's going to build Collector. We'll see. Hopefully no Collector this game. I'll be kind of sad. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe like Nocturne builds it. I have seen Nocturnes build it before. Don't think it's good. Still.
Who is a good one? If you had to pick a champion, who would, if you had to,
I had to pick a champion that uses the crit, uses the lethality.
Guys, is anything happen? Oh, here comes Hecarim though.
Woo.
Trying to get a lot of flash from Yone just to keep him in.
Lights out makes it kind of scary. Doesn't really get the ult off.
It was really matters which champion should use Collector. Not should. Last word. Wrong word.
Yeah. Which champion has to use Collector? Which champion needs to collect? If I can figure out a champion that uses the lethality, uses the crit chance, and uses the AD, you would have to maybe Jhin, maybe Varus, right? Because all of that is really good on him, right? The lethality, a little bit of lethality is good. Just to get a little bit more Q damage in the early game. The crit chance is good if you're going the on-hit Varus. And the AD, right? The 50 AD is almost always good, right? It's still 50 AD. And I think Jhin as well, maybe, right? Jhin can really use the crit chance, and he can use the lethality too. We've seen some interesting builds. MF is like the other, maybe. MF is probably the only other one. But the thing is, when you take Collector, you're kind of splitting your stat builds, right? You're getting this lethality but you're getting the crit chance and the AD, and it doesn't gel together. It's not synergistic. You kind of just you're almost dipping into too many, and in that case, you're not going to be really strong at anything, right? You want to either go that full crit build or the full lethality. If you really want to go the full lethality build on people like Varus and MF, then by all means, go ahead. But I still think there's better items that give a little bit more lethality.
Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. That's what you're thinking.
Exactly. But I mean, doesn't really. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I doubt I won't see any collectors as we see the Everfrost being built by Zilean. And they recently built it.
Yeah, just maximizing the damage again. But here comes the portal. Same thing that happened last time. Mister sees it happening. Gets frozen. Here comes the Unstoppable Dragon's Descent right on to Seraphine, the music star. I don't think it happened on stage. She gets taken out.
Yeah, and honestly, very good stuff by Shyvana. And we see post 6, she's kind of a menace. And this Bard is so really, you can tell this guy plays a lot of Bard, right? He understands his portals. He understands how to use his ultis. I haven't really seen a whiffed one yet. As we see some more trading.
Yep, he walked in, did some damage, then walked out. And took damage.
Yeah, I mean, Zilean's just going to be there. Chucking bombs left and right.
Cell didn't do half health. I'm still confused on how he did half health.
I think it was just a double bomb, right? I think that's what happened. And then he had the lost chapter, maybe. But the Everfrost,
unreliable. Just missed the Q on the scuttle.
Hey man, scuttle mechanics are too strong. That guy has almost, I would say, scuttle scripting. Yeah, unreliable guy, and the scuttle's probably scripting. I'm gonna call scripts on scuttle. We got to get that checked out. I don't like how it's cheating. As we see the dragon, ping's going towards the dragon. We're gonna see if Team 2 can kind of take these dragons. I believe last game they also had the 2 dragon lead, right? And then they had to concede the last like 3 or 4 to EDG. Same situation here, right? Ocean and fire dragon, and then now the mountain dragon's coming. As Yon is.
Oh.
Hey, I really don't like this guy.
That was a nice deep though. Oh, no encore being used. Every ultimate they have.
So much. Throwing the kitchen sink. Oh my god. But now, how are they going to fight this dragon?
Yeah. I think we're dragon.
So we'll see if they can use this ultimate advantage, if they're willing to opt into the 4v5, or if they're just going to try to get ready to pressure top. I mean, Nocturne ult is still up. Zilean ult is still up. And they still have Jinx ult up. So, I mean, still not a huge investment. Using the...
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Here comes Adam coming over the wall to set it, leaving the dragon alone. Trying to push clear off. Winding up the kill, flashing forwards. Take out Nocturne. Nocturne also use flash to get away. So.
And they can trade for this Herald, right? They can go for this Herald here.
Yeah, and left. Yep.
Yeah, they can go for this Herald really quickly. They rush it down. They get 2 tier 2 turrets in the top lane. We're gonna see how they use this to their advantage. I want to see Team 2 kind of take a vision in EDG's blue side and really just kind of, take that over, because now there's no towers to go to. If they can get these pockets of vision, they can really start getting some picks. Because as team fights start breaking out, I don't think Team 2 has the advantage here. They have a lot of I want to say, Renton kind of just dives in, does single target damage. Yon can potentially get a multi-man knockup, but he's most likely just going to be using his spells on 1, maybe 2 people at most. But, EDG really has the Nocturne ulti to single somebody out. They have the Hecarim ulti to get in on everybody, potentially getting 1, 2, or 3-man fears. I mean, Zilean bombs are so devastating. You can hit 2-man stuns, 1-man stuns, and they still do AoE damage. And obviously, Jinx has rockets, and Seraphine, the team fighting potential on these 2 characters are just so good.
Yeah, I think, hey, and with them being so pokey and so able to shoot them quite easily, wanting a different draft maybe from the side of tier 2, but that's the Rift Herald being dropped in the bottom. See what can happen on the top, trying to stop that from falling as well. Clear divide. Does he die to Shyvana now? Oh. No, fear.
He does, unless he gets this E.
Oh.
W, Shyvana from W, and then
Oh.
E.
And we're gone again. All right, Riptail is more important. I was thinking, do 3/4 of the
Yeah,
health.
we see
on that
it.
one. Oh, there we go.
Yep, and
I had to bring it
misses
back up.
the E. Misses the E.
There we go. Yone just doing his thing, doing damage, just having a good time. Now let's go. Let's look around. We have a Shyvana 3-0. All right, we have a Renekton 3-1. What is the counter for the side of EG? They have a Zillion 3-0 with that Everfrost, as you were saying. I haven't really seen him use the Everfrost very well at this point, but he also has that heal reduction.
Ideally, what'll happen is that he'll be using the Everfrost next to Jinx, right? As we see another fight break out. And man,
Yeah, stun on Adam. Adam did nothing. He just has to get away as fast as he can. King Lord even has a Zillion ult, the Chrono Shift on him, just in case anything happens. Super
Hecarim gets a shutdown as well.
Yeah.
He uses the ultimate just for cover, I guess, is a tactical ulti. Just trying to get them out of prying eyes. Doesn't want to make them seen. Smart usage. It's not the worst usage of a Nocturne ulti. Try to get his team kind of safe. But yeah, like you said, the counter to Renekton, right? And really, as we see more.
Encore onto Gala. Just stopping any push that he had.
Yeah. This Shyvana is a bit strong now, but just like the Rage Bar, right? If they can try to play around Shyvana's Rage, I mean, luckily she has the added advantage of being able to pop her ultimate when she wants. But let's say they can bait a team fight out and get Shyvana to pop her ultimate, and then kind of just peel back, then Shyvana just doesn't become a champion, as we see more aggression in the bot lane.
Yep. He has Fangus just jump in, but luckily both sides had an extra player around. If either one of them weren't there, that'd probably be a 2v1 fight for the other side. So, very good map play from both sides.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. I mean, you really see where each team is trying to push their advantages, right? It's really trying to get this Renekton head, really getting this Renekton as he goes in 1v3.
Yeah, push their ways ahead. Oh, Fangu getting into the Timber Fate just to stay alive. Gets exhausted as soon as he comes back out. 3 people still focused on him with the Senna and the Bard heals, keeping you alive. King Tillord has no Chrono Shift around, and he's going to fall to Unbound.
Yeah, very, very good stuff. Right before the dragon, too, right? This is a very unfortunate death. I mean, it is 25 seconds on the death timer for Hecarim, and then there's about a 30-second drag timer, so he'll be up a little bit, but I don't think he'll make it back. Team 2 should really look to rush this drag down immediately. Get the pinks in, do what you need to do, don't lose it to the Jinx Rocket, block it if you can, pull the dragon out, learn your lesson the first time, hopefully.
If they lose it,
I
don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I mean, if Team 2 gets this dragon here, they'll be pushing like a 29-minute Mountain Soul, and this Mountain Soul really negates a lot of what EDG is trying to do, right? They're trying to dive you, they're trying to burst you with Hecarim and Nocturne, and when you have a passive shield going up that's... Oh.
Trying to push it fast, but that's a Zillion Bomb also on it right now.
Pull it out. Pull it out.
Yeah, pulling it out. Hecarim jumps in, but is not able to steal it, and it looks like he's going to be taken out by 5. That's his big mistake right there. Seraphine trying to use an Encore, but not going to do enough. An unreliable guy. He's going to do a little bit of cleanup of his own, and they're going to move right back up to Baron.
And that's the Baron, right? And I don't know if you go for that steal. I think you go for the steal with the Jinx Rocket. I mean, because even if you do steal the dragon, you still die, right? You still die, and then they can just go to Baron regardless. So not really a smart play on EDG's side. EDG kind of doing a desperate measure. I think they know they might be behind a bit. Even though the kill is only 7 to 10, you see the towers gone, right? Both towers gone top side. One tower gone down mid. One tower gone down bottom. And like that's so much local gold gone. That's so much gold, in the pockets of Team 2. And now, where should the lane placement be? Where do you think? Should they run 1-3-1? Should they be doing a 1-4? Or should it just be NA? Should they be doing an NA Ram mid, all 5 mid? You think Renekton should be top? They should be running the 3 jungler, support, and ADC mid, and they put Yone in a side lane as well. How do you think they should organize this lanes?
I know they have the Baron. They have the, I believe Senna now has 50 stacks of more passive, so getting the next upgrade attack range for that. So what do they do? Let's see. Renekton, obviously solo lane. It seems like that's what Renekton likes to do, especially with the stacks with the Prowess Claw, just to engage and have that extra 1v1 prowess.
Yeah, and oh,
what's that?
We see EDG fighting for vision in the blue side, and they're just pushing this mid down. We see Renekton in the bottom. Zillion is actually matching Rennie, which is not a bad...
Oh no, what the heck was that damage? Adam, you're insane on King Tillor right now. But they're trying to get back Adam. That's going to be a turret falling as well. We're not going to be the one to take down the turrets. And Noble, can he get out? He has a chrono shift just to stay alive. Always in time for that one.
But really good trade for Renekton's side, right? Now if Zillion tries to match him again, you know, Renekton still has his dominance. He still has the ultimate, as we see them just sieging mid. Disgusting stuff here on the top side, right? Shyvana and Renekton just kind of running away with this game. And, you know, Senna having a steady 3-1-3 scoreline, has the Kraken Slayer, has the Gunsos, is going to start doing damage in these extended fights.
And of course, Fengus, once again, pushing in, having the Hecarim's found back up, and they want to take him out as fast as he can, but he pops that ultimate. Can he stay alive any longer, though? Jinx also making the way down, running back.
A lot of time.
Not able to get it.
A lot of time wasted.
The inhibitor, and he gets away. I'm looking at the map. He gets away as they turn around and try to just stop the push that's happening in that mid lane.
Yeah, they committed so much and they still couldn't kill him, right? I mean, they lost their mid inhib for what? Renekton flash? If I'm Team 2, I'm saying worth. You know, I'm saying worth every single time. And now we see Team 2, you know, bullying EDG, you know, taking their jungle camps. I want to see them take the gun. Yeah, take everything. Make sure this, you know, Hecarim can't get back into the game. Shyvana's level 15 to Hecarim's level 12. And this is what happens when your jungler gets behind, right? Your camps start getting taken. You start getting killed more. You don't get as much XP. And now this Shyvana has like potentially 9 to 12 camps to eat up. All right? It's so devastating in this meta right now for junglers. It's just you can get behind so far.
Of course, the double CS lead for Shyvana, quite the insurmountable lead, as I might venture out to call it. That's gonna be Baron finally down, but they do get a tower in the bot lane. They get the tier 2 in the mid lane. They also get the inhibitor tower with the inhibitor. So hopefully that holds out until the next time another big.
And now
Dragon's coming up.
Yeah, Dragon's coming up in about 35 seconds.
Okay.
We're gonna see, you know, very standard. They should have a very standard lane orientation. Renekton should be pressuring top lane with his teleport. We see a lot of flank wards placed by Bard. You see a bunch in the bot red side. You see one near the red. You see one right near the dragon. And there's 3 pink wards, right? They can't. There's no way EDG can walk in safely as we see Senna getting jumped on.
Oh, down. Oh no. But they also see Shyvana in there. Don't really do anything about it. So they're just gonna push up to that dragon, try to clear out the pit itself.
Interesting teleport on Renekton's part. He's teleporting top. They had to have seen that, right? Like, there's no way they haven't. Looks like they're just gonna concede this drag. You know, Senna's dead. They feel like they lost a lot of their damage.
Oh my gosh! What the heck? Anime survives. Doesn't survive. Oh no! Of course he doesn't. But he gets the soul. He gets the mountain soul for that one. Oh, jumps in Gaia, trying to do master onto Mr. Make this, but no, Jinx just free fires onto him. King Titlord gonna be the final nail in the coffin for his death.
And
there we go.
And Adam paying back for game 1, saying, if you can steal a dragon, I can steal it too. You know, I am a dragon. So that's what she's doing. And honestly, interesting stuff here. You know, EDG might just steal this game if they keep running in. If Team 2 keeps running in and dying, they might just end. Who knows? Right? This is very interesting. If they keep running into this meat grinder, they'll take more turrets. You know, Jinx is not to be messed with when she's sieging.
There's 30 seconds on the death timer, so to watch out for what they actually do when they're low. They got the soul. They might be a little excited, but Jinx, she gets the most excited in this game. So she's going to be able to do what she wants if they get rolling. Here we go. That's the soul.
Zillion. Yeah, Zillion putting up a 5-0-5 scoreline. I mean, he is probably having a lot of impact, but you don't really see him getting these really clutch double bombs onto Senna and onto, all these carries. He's just kind of using his ultimate, and that's kind of the issue with Zillion, right? He only has realistically 2 abilities, right? That really matter. I mean, the slow is good. The W kind of he has to use it to double bomb. So if he's being efficient, he's most likely speeding somebody up, double bombing, Q, W, Q, and then having his speed up / slow up again. And then he just has to R somebody. But when you're so far behind like this, when you're almost 6,000 gold behind, it's really hard, even if you have the Zillion, rezzing one of your people. He's not gonna rezzing the Hecarim is useless, right? He's level 13. He's not gonna do anything.
Oh wow. King Lord has no care in the world, just jumps on to Shyvana. Shyvana doesn't even care, gets 1 kill on Mr. McFist, but she's gonna be traded though. Clear Divide gonna be the one to take them out. Fast Craze Jinx is getting excited. Unreliable guy gonna be taken as well. Fast Craze pushing forward, trying to take a set, but she gets rooted up. Unfortunately, here comes Yone. Can he do anything of his own?
Yone just walking up.
After shot, Yone has to flash over the wall to stay away from this Jinx. Jinx is still a menace. She's 3-1, just got the Infinity Edge, has 3 complete items, more than the counterpart of Senna as well.
Yeah, and they don't win that 4v4. It's we see Team 2 kind of blundering, right? They don't win that 4v4. The strongest people on their team are Renekton, Shyvana. It's not Shyvana Senna. It's not Shyvana Yone Senna, right? It's not these guys. The strongest people on EDG side are easily Jinx and Zillion, right? It's not the Hecarim, it's not the Nocturne. So when they take these fights, when they opt in to take these fights, EDG is going to win them every time if Renekton's not there. Renekton needs to be there to burst down the Jinx, and so she can't do much damage, right? It's hard to do damage to the whole team when Renekton's in your face, popped his dominance, trying to stun you and everything. So really bad. Giving EDG getting some hope, playing these fights really well, opting into these fights and being like, hey, we win this 4v4. Let's keep fighting. You want to see Team 2 kind of calm down here. They have the soul, but it's still not enough, it looks like, right? It looks like EDG is clawing their way back with this Jinx and this Zillion. And it's very interesting to see.
Yeah, the kills that they have. Oh, King start to speed up. Want to stay around his 5v5 as the Baron is up. This is the big character in the game so far. If tier 2 gets this, they could just win the game with the 2 exposed inhibitors.
Yeah, and again, we see Renekton just posturing here. He really should be bot side, just pressuring the inhib, right? He has TP. Unless Nocturne ultimates, then he can't really TP anywhere. So that is maybe the fear on Renekton's side. As
King Lord jumping in, trying to fear that Yone in, but that's an encore, charming the entire side of tier 2. Tier 2's bars on the back line. Soul resistance is clear divide in the middle of 5, can be taken by Gala. Oh man, here comes a resurrected of his own from both sides. That's gonna be a Guardian Angel from him. Unbound taking up Mr. McFist.
So well played.
3 down.
So well played. So well played on that Renekton. How he zoned 3 of them. Nocturne diving in and just getting killed almost immediately, right? This Yone following up so well with his ultimate. Just very good play on Team 2 side. They understood that Renekton needs to be in the carry's face, and he did such a good job of zoning them. Jinx couldn't get the rockets off onto their whole team. He was hitting Renekton, who honestly is really tanky. 2 Mountain Drakes, Mountain Soul, Dominus, he's hard to kill.
Here comes a 2v5. They're spawning up soon, though. They might just have to take the 2 inhibitors and leave because we see how close the fights can be because they have not gone yet on that advantage. And I just wait for it to come, but Hecarim does not want to wait for that, and he pays the price as Chrono Shift's gonna have to be used to save his life. He has to go back.
Yeah, and Senna damage is a lot, right? It's no joke. She's got 3 items: the fabled Rapid Fire, Crack, and Ginsu's. This is where she starts to shred your team. This is where she starts to do a lot of damage. And she's about 90 souls almost. So, she'll be hitting that 100 soul power, spike really soon. Every 20 souls, she gains a little bit more. So we'll see.
Be completed by the Shyvana. Huge amount of damage increase on that one as well.
Yeah, they're really flipping the Elder here. We should see Renekton just top lane with the Baron and just the rest of Team 2 just posturing around Elder and making sure that EDG doesn't do it, right? The last thing you want to do is flip an Elder Dragon here, right? You don't want to lose Elder Dragon to EDG. The fights have already been too close. There's no reason to start it. Renekton needs to be top lane right now.
King Tillor trying to get the last fight of the game on court, trumping every single person on tier 2. Adam does not have the Guardian Angel, so he gets taken right away as well. Yone taking his turn, triple kill for Yone on that side. That's going to be a taste for
Is this
tier
the same
2.
Gaia? Is this the same Gaia from last game? Is that the same man I'm seeing? That steady went 2-7 on Victor, and now he's popping off on Yone. Way of the Tempest, channeling the inner Weeaboo and just cutting them up. Insane. Samurai, the Samurai over here. This is the same Gaia? This is insane. As we see a Team 2 getting that Game 2, right? Team 2 getting Game 2. This is what they do. Very good play.
Same time. 10 finish for both sides. Very close games, both.
Yeah, and just looking at the damage charts, I mean, Shyvana doing the most damage at 26,000, followed up by Renekton. Just so much damage. I mean, on the on EGG side, you know, they're doing the Jinx, they're doing the 22,000 damage, and then Zillion's doing a bit of 16,000 damage. What do you think? Do you think Eastern Dragons Gaming was a bit of a cocky draft? Do you think they were trying to flex a little bit too much here with the Nocturne top and the Zillion mid, all these kinds of interesting picks, or do you think they legitimately had a game plan going in?
I think they have a game plan. I think that's fair to say. Was it a good game plan? Was it a solid game plan? That's another question, right? So we had in the previous game, they had the greatest jungle. They had the tanks around with Gnar and the Nautilus. They had the damage with the Orianna and the Jinx. They had a solid solid team fight comp. But here they tried to switch it up a bit. Honestly, Hecarim and Nocturne getting bullied in the beginning kind of ruined their chances with the Zillion bombing them and jumping in to engage fights. Honestly, it seemed like Bard knew what he was doing with the realms, like you're saying. That's what they had to focus on. That's what they did. Yone, Gaia just popped off, dude.
Yeah, at the end.
No, ban Yone instead.
Yeah, ban Yone, I guess. Even you can try to ban this guy out. I mean, you know, towards the end, he had the Immortal Shield, but he had the Bloodthirst. He built the Quicksilver Sash, and it was just, you know, I'm determined to get an ulti off. I'm determined to do some damage, and it's really good stuff on his late game, on the mid to late game.
Just so happens it was the final fight when it happened.
Yeah, I mean, really good stuff. And honestly, this Renekton pick, you know, we see Fangu just really putting Team 2 kind of on his back in the early game. And, you know, the jungle really working with him. The jungle really working with him on that 2v2, right? We saw Adam playing towards Fangu, you know, getting these Rift Heralds, making sure that EDG is not sneaking these out. And it's really good stuff. Great job on Team 2's side. You know, this is going to be an exciting game 3. I'm going to see a lot of interesting bans. It looks like the Seraphine isn't as broken as we thought. The nerfs were pretty hard, right? 11.5 did nerf her a bit, but I still think she's really good. I just don't think you should be pairing Seraphine up with a Zillion and a Nocturne top. I think if you go a bit more of a standard comp, you go with a bit more damage. Somebody like the Syndra, maybe the Azir, in the mid lane, someone that can do a lot more damage. I think Seraphine works, but it just felt like they just didn't have enough, right? It felt like Jinx was their only damage in this fight, in this game, on EDG's side.
I mean, I don't think Ryan Bjergsen's around here playing the Zillion, so it's gonna be a few mistakes, few damage. I mean, you're saying Jinx is the only damage. We saw Yone get half health by Noble at one point, so there is that, but not consistent. I think is what was being said, where it was the only way that they can actually guarantee damage onto the side. I mean, we saw 4v4s, Plat's craze kind of popped off, so they wanted to get out quick in that way. But
yeah, and honestly, we saw Bard roaming a lot too. He got some really good roams, and he set up a lot of good ganks with his portal. He set up a lot of good ganks with his ultimate. I mean, all of his ultimates were very good, very well timed. Like, this guy plays Bard, right? He understood, and especially into Jinx, Seraphine. If they don't have Flash, they're dead, right? They're just dead.
Maybe if they
It's
have Flash in this game, apparently.
yeah. It looks like every time they got ulted, they didn't. Just really good stuff. I'm really excited to get into game three. What do you want to see on EDG side?
A comp.
A comp, a legitimate composition.
Yes. Something with a tank, something with that can survive, really, because it seemed like both sides were just who can melt the other team's bars faster, um, and that way. Apparently, someone wants Heimerdinger, so let's get Heimerdinger.
Yeah. Yeah, Heimerdinger. Um, yeah, I think team two, I think these kind of wacky drafts, maybe not necessarily wacky. I mean, the Shyvana coming out with the AP Shyvana is very interesting. I mean, the Yone is a good pick. I really like Unbound on Senna. I think he did a lot more than what he did last game. Uh, when he was on the other ADC. I really like the pairing that they had.
Mhm.
Uh we're gonna see, I think Noble. I think we're gonna see a more standard comp out of EDG. I don't think they're gonna keep messing around like that. Let's see if they try to target ban Gaia a little bit more. But we're gonna get into game three with a short break. Very exciting stuff. These guys are gonna bust out some. I have no doubts these guys are gonna bust out some very interesting picks. You might be right. Maybe they'll pull out the Heimerdinger for all we know. Welcome back, everybody, as we get into the pick ban game 3 of Team 2 versus EDG after an exciting game 2 on Team 2 side. Honestly, really close game. Team 2 kind of ran away with it, getting the Dragon Soul, getting the Baron, and same bans coming out. It looks like Team 2 is just banning the Anivia, banning the Enlawi. EDG is going to ban the Udyr, most likely. Do you see anything getting banned here? Anything new getting banned, or are you going to see some standard stuff?
I don't think so. Honestly, I'm not too sure. Maybe Banayone on EG side, because that was good. Maybe the Irelia or the Renton or something else. But once again, they left the bar open last time. They saw why they should have banned it in the last one. Also,
really
last time I forget that the Dragon Soul taken off of the steel as well, off the blast cone. Jumps in, grabs it. So it's even more exciting because of that. Oh, Ornn left up though. Ornn left up.
Ornn left up for Team 2. Yeah, very interesting, right? That's something that was banned, was almost, I think, banned every game up until now. I guess EDG had to make the choice, right? Because you have to ban Seraphine. You definitely have to ban Udyr. And you definitely, I guess they feel like they needed to ban the Bard. I guess it was just too good. As we see Ornn being picked, and then EDG rotating their bot lane, going with the Nautilus Jinx this time. Last time they had the Nautilus, the Jinx Seraphine, and now they're gonna go with this. I believe EDG also had
going back to the first game. That's right.
Yeah. and we'll just see the Leona into it. I don't really like Leona as an answer to Nautilus. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's a good answer. But you could go an Enchanter here. You could go something like Janna. You could go something like Karma. They've been buffing her a lot, but I guess they just kind of want to match tanks. They could have also rotated the Rel. Rel isn't banned. I haven't seen Rel picked this series, which is super interesting, right? I guess none of them really prioritize it. As EDG rotates the Urgot into Ornn. And the Yone gets banned.
Right. See, there we go. Oh my gosh. I'm choking.
It looks like tier 2's banning the Graves. They probably want to get the Hecarim for their jungler. Most likely. Just because I don't think EDG is going to pick that up again, just because of how... I mean, maybe they won't go the Hecarim. This Shyvana is probably going to go in the jungle again. But the Graves getting banned, I think they want to put EDG actually on the Hecarim, most likely.
I mean, both of the games, they picked the bot and jungle first 3 picks. Now switching out bits. 1 pick jungle, 1 pick top. Or 1 pick jungle, 1 pick their ADC. So we're going to see if any of those bans change. But on EDG side, no, they're banning Veigar and they're banning someone else in the mid lane.
So it looks like Gala will probably on Malzahar duty, which would be kind of unfortunate if he is. Really did have a solid, at least mid to late game, on the Yone or the Yone. We'll see. Maybe he has some other tricks up his sleeve. Gonna be the no ban from Team 2 side just because of the substitution and everything. But we're gonna see what EDG picks, right? EDG does have the last pick here. They're probably gonna save it for mid lane. I'm gonna see because they already picked their top lane. I expect them to pick their jungler here. I expect a Hecarim just because it's just so strong. But maybe he doesn't want to go back onto it, right? Yeah. Didn't do too good. Might pick the EDG just takes the Malzahar away.
Yeah, don't want to lose another one, I guess. Jitter could have. Actually, no. EDG takes the Malzahar away from her too. In that case.
Yeah.
Find out what Gala can do now.
And almost the exact matchup we saw in the first game with the Leona Kaisa and the Jinx Nautilus. We saw how that one went last time. The Jinx Nautilus winning that one out. So we'll see if this Leona Kaisa can edge it out this time. Edge their advantage out this time. I don't know what Team 2 is gonna pick here. I mean, honestly, it could be anything. Right? We really don't know. We really don't know Met Gala's champ pool here. They banned the Yone. They took the Malzahar to put the Veigar. Is it that Ezreal mid?
Woo! I mean, wasn't expecting anything specific, but definitely was not expecting that. I'd say that.
Oh, we see the Kindred. Kindred has been getting picked up. So a lot of utility on EDG side, right? Kindred ult, the Malzahar ult, right? These interesting kinds of lock you down and then you can stay alive kind of stuff on EDG side. Tier 2 going with the almost double. I'm assuming it's going to be a double AD, right? I don't think this Ezreal will be going any AP shenanigans, which further emphasizes the point. Maybe Tier 2 didn't know that Gala was going to pick the Ezreal, but that would have been so much better if they picked an Enchanter here, right? Getting the Moonstone, going Ardent, picking a Karma, a Janna, or anything of that matter instead of the Leona would be so much better. But again, I ask you, who do you think has the draft edge in this game?
Who has the draft edge? We have on the top. Ornn, I think, just beats anyone that goes against him, and utility-wise, even if he doesn't win the lane.
Ornaments are too good. Even though they got nerfed, I still think they're really good. I think the new ornaments, I think it's taking time to pick up, but I think the new ornaments are like really good, right? Do you
have the names of the new ornaments?
I don't know. I've just been making it up as I go. Gale Force, the updated Gale Force, I think is like Typhoon Power or something I've been calling it. Like, honestly, I don't really, these the ornaments are like the amount of damage and scaling it still gives, right? Ornn makes your team a scaling team immediately, right? Like, it gives you the scaling, even if you're not necessarily an inherently scaling team. So I think if I were to give it to draft edge, it's just really this X factor on Team 2 side is Gala, right? Because he had the Victor game, didn't do so hot. has the Yone game, really bullies the mid laner. I mean, granted, the mid laner was on Zillion, but really just bullies him down. Is able to show up in the mid to late game on game 2. So it'll just really depend on if this Ezreal can hit his skill shots, get the damage down. Um, I'm assuming he's gonna build an early QSS. If he doesn't, he's just gonna die to ganks, right? Kindred has the damage to kill Ezreal on repeat. He's not the tankiest of people. Um, the Shyvana is not gonna have a lot of early pressure. She's also not gonna have the same gank setup that Bard gave her, right? Like closing the gap and stuff. So we might see her farm a bit more. And I really don't know what lane tier 2 kind of plays to, right? You're not really going to play to the Bard top because getting him a kill or two isn't going to do too much. So you either play to the Ezreal and get him to his like two item power spike with like the Essence Reaver, and if he goes Essence Reaver Duskblade, or if he goes Essence Reaver Muramana with the new Muramana changes, they really benefit Ezreal right now on the 11.5 patch. But we'll see. But I think Ezreal's a very good, he's a good one item power spike for sure. But the Essence Reaver plus X item is a much better power spike, right? His 2 item power spike is going to be really interesting. He's going to start bursting you, right? He can start putting a lot of damage onto the Malzahar. He can pop the Malzahar shield and everything. So I think that the harder to execute comp is Team 2. I think EDG has just a slightly easier comp, right? It's a click R with Malzahar and Nautilus, and we've already seen that EDG can perform on the Jinx. This AD carry knows what he's doing. The Urgot and the Kindred are the X factor. If EDG plays around Kindred and gets her these marks, then Kindred becomes really strong. But if they leave Kindred to fend for herself and don't really support her on getting these marks, then she's not going to be the champion that she needs to be, right? And she's gonna lose the farm fest to Shyvana. So interesting stuff here. You know, very, very different picks. I mean, the bot lane is pretty standard we're seeing, but top, mid, and jungle are just been different stuff every game. So really understanding like where they need to do and what they need to do. Very good stuff. I think Urgot is going to be one of the defining characters in this game. If he gets ahead, he can be devastating, right? He'll just ult somebody, flash fear, and just be super tanky, super unkillable. I think the new item changes do a lot of good to Urgot. I kind of like what a lot of Urgots have been playing recently in solo queue and stuff like that. And I think Ornn also takes advantage of the Sunfire Aegis or the Sunfire Cape and these 2-3 items, these really tanky stuff. So we'll see what happens. But you have any thoughts?
Any thoughts? No, I think you're doing well. I think you said all of it that I've thought. So
okay. Well, I mean, we're gonna.
You want to piss it off? You pass it off.
Yeah. We're gonna go and we're gonna get into game in a bit, but we're gonna take a bit of a break. Just catch us in game 3. It's gonna be super exciting. I guarantee you. If it's anything like game 2, it's gonna be fun to watch. We're gonna see a lot of stuff. Welcome back to Game 3 of Unbound and Team 2 versus Eastern Dragon Gaming. An exciting Game 2. Just getting into this, we're going to see Team 2 coming out with the fanned out 5-point defense while EDG's looking for an invade here?
Yeah, especially
Possibly?
for game 3. Not sure who they have. They have Nautilus with the hook. Just to come in quick. Unreliable guy sees it. Can he get back in time? Oh no, he gets hooked in.
Oh.
Oh my gosh!
This man's playing on 0 sensitivity. His DPI is negative 9,000 because that flash was literally 1 centimeter away. As we see the B skin from Alzahar, very cool skin actually, B Zahar. But really good start on AGG's side. Unfortunate for Unreliable guy. Unfortunate for Team 2. Who got the kill? Urgot got the kill. So now he has a longsword on this Ornn. So we'll see how he can push that advantage. An extra 350 gold, a little bit of stats. He might be able to bully this Ornn out a little bit more just because of Ornn's natural innate tankiness. Opposite jungle starts again. Looks like we're going to see Shyvana hopefully full clear. We'll see what Kindred does. I've seen a lot of different Kindred paths. They might go blue, Gromp, Raptors, red, or they might go full clear into red. Team 2 does have the ward on EDG's Wraith, so they'll see if they may not see if she walks by, but they will definitely see if she does the Wraiths for sure.
I was just seeing Malzahar with the Unseal spell book. So
yeah, pretty good rune.
New rune that we've seen this best of 3 so far.
Yeah. And then Urgot going actually with the press the attack instead of the Conqueror, so looking to really just do a lot of damage onto Ornn, which is very interesting. Shyvana still taking the electrocute. Worked last time. Oh! Wow.
Yeah. Really scared from that for some.
Yeah. Team 2 just hit the level 2 and just instantly, Jinx flashed out because she knew she would be dead, right? I mean, that Leona will lock you up.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
Scary. I guess that's made Jinx flash the first game early. Just the threats of that happening. So once again, we're seeing actually just a mirror of what happened in the game 1 in this bot lane.
Yeah,
looks like the Shyvana's on her way down as well in the jungle.
Shyvana's full clearing. It looks like Kindred did do the full clear bot into take the red, so she has both buffs for this scuttle fight. But she's just gonna take the scuttle most likely, because now it's gonna be really important where Kindred's mark is, right? It's a 50-50 on if it's gonna be top scuttle or bot scuttle, and it's top scuttle. Guessed right.
Lucky bugger.
Yeah, really good for her. She gets that first stack, and we're gonna see if Kindred can kind of push this advantage, as she may be looking for a gank in the top lane. Ornn is kind of pushed up.
Yeah, he's a little too tall. Looks like Bangu. Oh, he just dashes right out there.
Dashes out, and now that Kindred spotted top, maybe Shyvana will try to go into Kindred's red side, because her Gromp will be spawning up. We'll see if Shyvana has the foresight to kind of go in and take everything now that she's seen Kindred top, and if she does, it'll be very detrimental. Kindred will be two camps behind, right? If she can take everything, so we'll see. Very interesting, very good stuff from Ornn. Getting out, avoiding the gank. Small CS lead on the top lane and a small CS lead for Ezreal. Very easy to, but a lot of that, a lot of that gold and stuff can be taken from the minions of B Zahar or Malzahar.
Yeah.
Just standard laning phase stuff. And look, just as I predicted, Shyvana is going into the enemy jungle and taking Gromp, and maybe she will take Wolves and then reset, right? And she'll have a 2-camp lead onto Kindred.
I worry if Kindred actually makes her way down, while Wolves is being taken. That would be a little awkward situation that she'll be in. But
oh yeah, yep. Taking the Wolves, and Kindred is backing. She's not going to know what's going to happen. So Kindred's going to come to her bot side and have nothing to go to, right? Now she's just going to be wasting time. So we'll see. How will Kindred respond? Will she go to Shyvana's Wraiths or Raptors and take it, or will... Oh, yeah. So this is... Shyvana has to path. She cannot back. She has to path to Raptors and take it right now.
Oh no, she's getting rooted up by the traps and Mr. Big Fist is passive on Nautilus. Noble has no mana though, so might get a little bit of damage on him as he tries to get away.
Arcane shifts in as well. Very aggressive on his part. I mean, he knows that, you know, Malzahar can't really trade any damage back. He's low on mana. Malzahar is not even level 6, so very good stuff on Gala's end.
Unclear as Kindred was basically maybe leaving the river and Siobhan was taking the last raptor, so that was a close one.
Yeah, and Kindred looks like she's just starting up the dragon here by herself. Very interesting. Level 4. I think she can take it with the wolf healing and everything, but we'll see. She may need to call upon either her bot lane or mid lane, depending on who can come in. Yeah, I'm just going to take the first dragon. Good consolation prize. Don't get the stack, you get the dragon, but Shyvana is now almost 20 CS, or about 4 to 5 camps up on Kindred, so we shall see. Shyvana does need to reset here. I don't think she really needs to camp this Scuttle Crab on the top lane. She's probably looking to take Raptors from Kindred. And she's just on a tear.
Unfortunately, they took it when she was taking at Wolves. But here we go. Dargot is level 6. He has the ult. But does he get Ornn low enough? He does not. So Ornn, thank you, just gets away. Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and just a lot of trading back and forth. Feeling each other out, you know, understanding what tendencies he likes to does in lane, and really trying to figure out what can he get the advantageous trade in, right?
Yeah.
You know, Ezreal coming out, backing with the CS lead. As we see the crab, Scuttle Crab with the mark, we're going to see what happens here. Maybe Ornn can walk down for it with Shyvana. Oh, as we see pings going out.
Yeah. Trying doing huge clears all over the map. Basically walked from Kindred's blue, her red, her blue, and then back up to Kindred's red side. So quite the long clear, a lot of time not back.
Malzahar coming down.
100 gold in the pocket, but not even
really hard for Shyvana to take this, right? Because she doesn't have a CC ability, so she can't break the shield that is on Scuttle. But we'll see if it gets contested. I don't think it's gonna be. Kindred's just gonna be really sad.
Yes, 2 marks now gone. Hopefully Shyvana backs now, but her blue is up. It's tempting.
Yeah. I'd love to toggle to the gold and see how much Shyvana is sitting on. If she can even get a full item on her first back, I would love to see how much she's on. I mean, she's almost 20 CS up. I mean, she's level 6 already. Yeah, she's sitting on 2k gold. Even though EDG is actually up with a small gold lead, about 500. Most likely coming from the top lane and the bot lane right here. That CS advantage.
I mean, that extra gold from that kill, if that kill didn't happen in the very beginning, a lot different with those ult assists as well.
Trading happening. Ornn with the early Bramble Vest. Just hard countering Urgot, right? Because of that W. Just hitting into the Bramble Vest. Very good itemization from Ornn's part. Very good stuff. As Ezreal opts in for the first item QSS buy. Oh my god.
Hey, you gotta do it at some point. Why not the first one?
1,300 QSS and boots. Hey, I mean, it looks like he doesn't want to die, right? And now you neutralize Malzahar and Kindred's kill pressure onto mid lane, right? Which is very smart. I mean, not a bad buy, not the worst buy. Most mid laners would die 1, maybe 2, maybe even 3 times to Malzahar before they would buy it. So now Malzahar only.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with the Scar tax. It's the mouse tax.
It's the mouse tax. Yeah, but I mean, at least Ezreal can itemize towards it, you know, maybe get the Mercutio Scimitar later into the game, right? I mean, it's not a horrible buy. It does kind of stunt your damage for these. Ooh.
Here's a oh my gosh, ult all over the place as well. It's unreliable guy. Heal coming up from Unbound, trying to keep support alive. And here comes Malzahar as well. It's a 4v.
Oh, he's ulting!
Yes!
Done!
The QSS Gaia and Gala, but Unbound does not.
Yeah, and Ezreal not, you know, they have to be communicating here. As the Rift Herald gets dropped mid lane.
Yeah. Just trying to trade what they can. Oh, they took. Oh no. And they took the two
initial plates. The horrible usage of, not horrible usage, but not the most efficient usage of this Rift Herald, right? Ideally, you want to get the first 2 plates down and then summon it, but I guess they just feel like they needed to trade some gold back with this Rift Herald. They do get 4 plates, which is quite a lot, but the gold does get split up between Ezreal and Shyvana, and Shyvana still hasn't backed.
Yeah. She used all her smites, so she actually has no items right now.
Yeah, and if a fight breaks out, Shyvana's useless,
She's
right?
just, hey,
Oh, greedy.
best way to back. Oh, she's gonna die to turret maybe.
I think she's gonna execute.
Yeah, best way to back is to die. What do you guys think? Oh, get some gold at the end too. There we go. And that's there we go. Urgot's
Yeah,
getting a little curved plate.
Proxy's his own top laner's wave. Very good right there. Extra gold in her pocket, and she comes back with the upgraded boots, recurve bow, and a blasting one. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of gold. Dragon's up. It looks like it's the fire dragon for this game as the second one. So potentially an ocean soul or even a cloud soul. We haven't seen either. We've actually only seen, we've had 2 mountain souls in a row. So
we know that. Oh, it's not.
And it looks like it's going to be an ocean soul. So now this puts the timer on team 2, right? They have to contest at least the next dragon. They have to get it to delay this almost 20-minute ocean soul. It looks like it'll be, right? Which is super devastating, right? Because Kindred can heal, Urgot can heal, as we see some aggression.
Looks like it's been roots all over. Like Pascrade's trying to flash out, slow down the push on her teammates. Looks like it's gonna be in favor of tier 2 this time around.
Yeah, 4 summoners burned on the bot side. Flash heal, flash ignite on both the bottom laners. And now Kai'Sa has the flash advantage. And I think Leona's going to have her flash up too in a bit. So a win on bot side for team 2.
Because just missing the root, he might pay for his life. Like Kindred, King, Tilt, Lord coming back in once again. Unbound getting slowed. That could be the last shot. Oh my gosh, the bullet so much. So Mega Death Rocket gonna be falling. There is that open. Fangus gets one of the kills. Kindred getting out of that. Ornhorn piped praise all by himself. Double kill for Fangu.
A beautiful collapse on team 2's side. Honestly, the TPs used and Shyvana just being in the right place at the right time. Very good stuff. I mean, a bit ambitious on Nautilus' side to try to get that hook. Oh my god!
The flash also to get that. And here comes a little bit more damage on the bottom tower as well. That was insane.
Yeah, flash. He wasn't seen. It didn't look like he was seen on a ward. I think Shyvana just kind of guessed and saw her and was just like, you know what? I'm going to flash E and you're going to die because I'm AP Shiv. Really good stuff. You know, Shyvana's probably going to come back with a full item, get the Nashor's Tooth. And, you know, this next dragon fight, it looks like it may go into the favor of team 2 here just because of the item advantage. And they have now, when they were down about 1,000 gold, now they're up 1.1k right here.
It gets the root, gets the Archonship all over the place, but he goes golden for a little bit, but not gonna be enough as that solar kills it. Oh, but no damage, so we're fine.
All right, he gets executed. A lot of damage on that turret, but really we see Unreliable Guy make the difference in these past 2 games, right? He has been roaming so much, but unfortunately they lose the plates for that. They lose the first tower because of this roam. You know, these roams, although roaming is good as a support, you have to roam at the right time. You have to help your ADC shove the wave in and then roam, right? Like, yeah, you get the kill on mid, but you give so much gold to Jinx. You give so much local gold to Jinx and Nautilus, and then global gold that's taken down. Everybody gets a bit of gold for the first turret being taken down. Unfortunate, but it may work out in the end for Team 2. As Kindred is gone, that champion doesn't exist anymore in this game. Where did her health bar go? I don't know. It was very interesting invade. I don't think Kindred was in the right position to do that. Maybe he was guessing that she was on her bot side because the camps were up. But even then,
like walking into that with the repel now gone as well. All should break up in about a minute. This is it's looking scary if you're on a side of EG.
So
Soldiers are
ult
not
the Malzahar with his passive up. You would think that Ezra would try to get it out before they ult. You know, if it worked once, why shouldn't it work again, right? Is what Leona is thinking, I guess.
King Tilt Lord is back on the map. Not sure where they went, but they're back and ready to play.
Yeah, ready to play some League of Legends. Hopefully she can sail.
Raptors is the marks was close by as well. 30 seconds of the scene. Around trying to see where, if there's any vision around here, if there's anything around. Oh my gosh, the Ornhorn a little too.
Oh.
His claim to pride is dropped underneath the tower. Adam.
Yeah, but they can't trade drag here. I don't know if that's actually advantageous as Leona goes in.
Oh my, the QSS able to get away, but the knockup as well. So many ults being used. The QSS does nothing. Pushes that Ezreal away. The red turret's destroyed in the top with the Rift Herald, but it's going to be maybe a third dragon in the pockets of EDG.
And this is very scary. You know, they're putting their, the Shyvana is ahead, but she needs to be down here for drag. She's just taking Raptors. Yeah, EDG with the third drag. I mean, if they can get like one good pick with their ultimates, right? If they can get a good pick before the next drag that's going to come up around 20 minutes, they get Ocean Soul. And I don't care how far ahead you are. Ocean Soul can even things out very quickly, right? The healing is so much, right? And you don't really see any grievous wounds on Team 2's side yet because they're not really afraid. So most likely what's going to happen is these next big 4 team fights are going to happen ideally around Dragon, right? We'll see. Leona does like to throw her ulti around a lot. It has a pretty low CD, you know, this early on, and she can kind of just throw it and see what happens. And if it lands, it lands. If it doesn't, well, it's going to come back up in like 60 seconds. So very interesting stuff. Team 2 with a small gold advantage of about 2.4k, 2.5k. We'll see Kindred, you know, unable to really get any of her stacks. I still think she's only on 3. Yeah, she is still on 3 stacks. As we see the Nautilus and Jinx shifted into the mid lane, just like in game 1. If you guys remember, you know, they were moving around while they were keeping Kai'Sa and Leona in other places. Ornn kind of waiting in the bush here for a flank, looking to Ornhorn maybe.
Ornn actually just get to level 13. Let's
yeah,
get him leveled up. Yeah.
You know, stop splitting XP. Put him in the side lane. I think that's what they need to do. Oh. Oh my god!
Not sure where people go in this game. And don't know where Adam's gonna have to go as he uses flash. So is it way
looking to continue this fight maybe?
Chasing. Adam's still staying alive, but looks like Jinx jumping into the fray, gonna be at the shutdown. She's getting excited. My thing with it though, the tower's almost down in the mid tier 1. She uses her ult already. Urgot jumping in. Oh my gosh, he gets knocked up so low as tier 2. Unbound ults trying to get a little more shield. Gets 1. Oh, Leona gets a double kill for her team. Maybe not the first you wanted. Oh no, Malzahar ulting that Kai'Sa, take her out of the fight. Still no QSS on her. And that's gonna be a 2-4-3 in favor of tier 2.
Yeah, in favor of team 2. Just, I mean, very well played on EDG's side. You know, they got the early kill. The teleport from Urgot wasn't the best. I think I saw him teleporting onto the tower, but he didn't really have any wards, I think, to teleport to, which is kind of unfortunate. He kind of came in late. Jinx getting the shutdown, though, on Shyvana is really big, right? 750 gold in her pocket is going to get her to her next item a lot quicker. And we've seen Jinx out-damage and outscale Kai'Sa in game 1. Ooh, that's a lot of damage that Ornn's putting down.
Plays Ornn. You can see that now.
Yeah.
He knows how this person works, what he can do. Once again, what is he at? Level 12. Needs to get a little bit closer. Then he can start really aiding his team all around the map, no matter where he is.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting seeing what item he upgrades first after he gets his own, obviously, upgraded. He may upgrade Kai'Sa's Gale Force. I don't think you can actually upgrade... I don't think Shyvana has an upgradable item. I don't believe Nashor's is a mythic, and I don't think Essence Reaver is actually a mythic either. So maybe he can only really upgrade Kai'Sa's. I don't think he's going to upgrade Leona's item. That's really no use.
None of them have mythics at this point.
Yeah, only Kai'Sa. Well, I mean, Ezra's a character that doesn't really build his mythic until second or third item sometimes. So he goes for the Essence Reaver, might go for the Manamune, and then he might go for the Tiamat, and then Duskblade. It just depends on what he was really looking for. Oh, you see Night Harvester. So now Night Harvester's built. Maybe he'll upgrade the Night Harvester. I mean, the Shyvana is 4-2. A little bit of extra AP could set her over the edge and start really one-shotting people instead of like 2-3 shotting, as we see Kindred having a nightmare against the Shyvana, really.
Anna's giving people a chance. We need to stop letting her have a chance.
Yeah, I mean,
she's taking out 90% of their health. She needs to take out 100% of her health right away.
yeah, pretty much. And Shyvana's innate tankiness is pretty good too, right? With her dragon passive and everything, she can kind of get that, and then she gains stats on her R. So I mean, yeah, she's still a little squishy. She's still kind of like just an E bot, but I mean that E is very strong.
Of course, ping's going down over at the Baron. Let's see. EDG wanted to switch over as all of tier 2
Oh, they're
is
sneaking this Baron.
all on the bot side. Tier 2 is nowhere close to this. I have no idea what happened.
They have no idea as well, yeah. Ezreal should be trying to check this with his ultimate.
Yeah. It's not going very quick at all, as Jinx doesn't have the damage on her to take it fast. Ezreal coming in quick.
Do we see a steal? No.
It is not. It might be a little too slow. Shyvana also close to take it.
And a really good Baron, honestly, by EG. A little bit of a desperation when they took advantage that they had no vision. They saw everybody on the bot side because they knew this is the pressure that 4th Dragon has. It's not just the fact that they have to worry about the enemy team getting Ocean Soul, but they have to trade, right? Oh my god!
Plats. I saw it coming from the base. It's like, no, this is gonna happen again.
And we saw Leona blocking too, but she just didn't have the right angle. She was in front. Oh my god. And
that's the angle. Yes.
And Shyvana mad that Dragon got stolen as question mark pings come out on EDG's side, question marking this Jinx like, what happened? How did you die? I don't even think Jinx knows how she died.
Alright, what does tier 2 do now that they lost Ocean Drake, unfortunately, once again the same way, and also Baron down?
Well, I think if Team 2, they need to build Grievous Wounds. I think Ornn does have the Thornmail on. I think Kai'Sa and Ezreal both need to just get the Executioners out just for the sake of it, and then we need to see the 800 gold item from Shyvana, the Oblivion Orb, and just try to get healing reduction your main priority right now. Farm up to the 800 gold. And I honestly think that Team 2, regardless of the Baron and the Ocean Soul, if they get the healing reduction, they can win these fights possibly. It's going to be a little bit harder because the team will be healing. But I think if they can, they're known to burst somebody out, right? If they can get a Shyvana Ezreal burst or even a Shyvana and Kai'Sa burst onto somebody, regardless of Ocean Soul, they're still going to die, right? They're still going to get bursted out. So the game is in, I want to say the game is sort of in EDG's hand, but it's too close to call right now, right? It's only a 1,000 gold lead on Team 2's side. A lot of the right people need to be fed as Urgot's getting jumped on.
Flash a way to get away from that Shyvana engage. Shyvana, I mean, they have Ocean Drake, they have the Baron, but Shyvana still does a lot. Just wants to get away from that as fast as possible. The Flash also, you have to get away. Oh my gosh, getting rid of the spell shield with Shyvana E. But the Soulfire not able to do enough. With the Ocean Drake, she's suppressed, she's rooted. Nothing gonna happen to Unreliable Guy.
Whiffs the Urgot ult.
Yeah, Kindred nailing that ult as well, just to keep everyone healthy, everyone alive on her team. Lamb's Respite gonna be the key in that one.
Yeah, very good heads-up play. It looked like it was gonna go in Team 2's favor. It looked like a lot of the stuff we were seeing early game, the Shyvana ult into the Leona ult into the Shyvana E and somebody's dead. But this Ocean Soul really helping out, keeping Malzahar alive, and honestly just turning on the Leona, understanding that, hey, we can kill this person, we can get a pick here, she's free, so might as well get the kill. And you see what happens after Shyvana uses her E. She can't really just walk into the team, right? She doesn't have her team behind her. Good play by Unreliable. It was a good stun, it was good everything, but unfortunately that EDG just had their whole team there ready. Ezreal does have his more mana now, so he will be doing a little bit more damage, and this is when he needs to start spiking. I mean, you want to maybe see a QSS on Kaisa, but I think at this point she's just more worried about getting the damage in and just bursting somebody down. I don't think they're gonna win these long exchanges just because Ocean Soul is just gonna keep healing and healing them throughout the fight. So they really need to just burst somebody here.
I feel like they have the comp to do it if they wanted to, with Oran the Assassin, Shyvana, as long as Kaisa builds the Collector with that lethality.
With that serrated Dirk.
Should add a little bit more burst onto the 5%.
Yeah,
just that
onto the 5% execute. Yeah. I don't know if Team 2 is not communicating or if they're just, they think that Ornn's healing reduction is enough. I mean, we saw Shyvana opt in for the needlessly large rod. Hopefully we see Kaisa or Ezreal pick it up because those are the two that are going to be doing more of the extended consistent damage, and you really need to get these autos down to get the healing reduction on everybody. So we'll see when they back. Elder Dragon's coming up in a minute and a half. Baron is coming up in a minute. Two of the most important things to watch for here. We need to see where this next team fight will lead. This next team fight will, I believe, determine the winner of the game.
What do they fight over? The Baron or the Dragon? In this case?
So, since the Ocean Soul is on EDG's side, they can look to really maybe trade the Dragon over for Baron. I think Elder Dragon is more valuable than Baron here. That's just my call. You don't want to flip either of the objectives though, right? You don't want to make it a 50-50 because EDG's jungler does have a disadvantage, albeit a slight one. It still is a disadvantage for the jungler. Shyvana is level 14 to Kindred's level 12. That's about 120 damage smite difference. But it looks like they're just going to go for the Elder, which is the right play, but flipping it is not. They should really look to force a team fight. They should use the Dragon to bait a team fight in. They shouldn't use the Dragon to flip the objective and flip the game, right? They should look for...
But look at Kaisa's item.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful collector. Really good here. That's what you need. You don't need... Oh, my God!
Sorry, I was too focused on items. Oh, my gosh. Just pushing Kindred and Jinx out of that fight. They might just get the Dragon with this. They have to get pushed back far enough.
Ooh, and this Shyvana is just...
I might just scare them away.
Burning them, but there's no way they flipped this objective, right? I think you just... Oh, see, Shyvana doesn't have her ultimate anymore. She's not in Dragon form, so she's not going to be as useful.
In the air, but Kindred drops that ult to kill your Divide, trying to do what he can in the middle of 4. Mr. McFist also falling 2 for 2 so far. Jinx doing so much damage, getting excited. It's a double kill. Is it a triple kill? Takes out Jinx, but Ezreal doing what he can. Guy the last one.
The hero, Ezreal's the hero.
The burn taking out the last player. 2 left on the side of EDG. And that's going to be an Elder with Ocean Soul as well.
And we see how healthy Kindred and Malzahar stayed, right? That's the Ocean Soul difference. That is the reason you buy Grievous Wounds, so they don't heal so much. It looked like Team 2 had the fight, right? It looked like Team 2 was getting the autos in, doing all this stuff. You saw Ezreal autoing in the Lambs or Spike. If he had a Grievous Wounds, it looks like he might be building to it now. He bought the longsword, but it might be too little too late on Team 2's side.
Hard summoner spell should change to. Well.
Exactly. Double smite, there's no way it's going to be lost here, right? I don't think Shyvana can lose it. Unless an Ezreal ult comes by, a miracle steal.
It's not going to be sent out this time around. That is going to be another time. A Baron and Elder. Almost impossible, I would say, to hold on to.
So the only way I see EDG losing is if they uncharacteristically dive under the turret and try to flex their power a little bit. Team 2 has to look for one of their players, one of EDG's players to overstep their boundaries. It might be the Nautilus, it might be the Urgot. It'll really, we'll see what happens as we see Kaisa going Collector into the Zeal, still not getting healing reduction. I don't know why. Maybe it's a stylistic choice. Definitely not the smart choice, for sure.
Oh, okay.
But we see EDG coming down mid, looking to just barrel it down NA Ram style, and the Shyvana doing damage, right? Shyvana is
Yep.
doing damage with her E, but it's
Right.
it's gonna get. Oh, it's Typhoon. I was right actually. It is Typhoon. Gale Force is called Typhoon. So
Nailed it.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah
You're good at this game.
maybe, maybe not. Anyways, I am better than Collector Kaisa though. But we see the
Okay.
Typhoon. We see the Typhoon getting upgraded. A little bit more damage. It's good on their part as we see a headbutt. Orn's real mad. He's like, I wanted Ocean Soul.
Going
I'm really mad.
3 mid,
Um,
2 bots, but transferring over to 5 mid. Oh my gosh, so close to you having to get out. The Jinx rockets are just too much. The Elder Drake damage from the 25%. That's a 3rd kill. Double kill from Malzahar. Kill for Plat's Craze. Alright, but the last is Adam. He does damage.
Yeah, really unfortunate that Team 2 didn't prioritize. I mean, I get that they lost this game. I don't want Team 2 to come out of this and think they lost this game because of the Jinx Baron, Dragon Steal. They really didn't try to prioritize the early dragons enough, and I think it worked against their favor. You know, uncharacteristically as well, right? In the first 2 games, they were almost always securing the very first 2 Drakes. It's really unfortunate. A good game nonetheless. EDG taking the series 2-1 in a very exciting fashion. Very good series on both teams. Really, really interesting stuff. A lot of good dragon steals. We've seen a dragon was stolen in each game,
Each
right?
teams as well, not just one team. One player from EDG stole it both times, but different teams stole it each game. The winning team stole a Drake. Steal your Drakes and you'll win games.
Yeah, that's sound advice. Um,
Let them leash it. It'll demoralize the enemy as well. All right. Well, anyways, looking at this. So what happened? It was between just a prioritization, like you said.
Yeah, the objective prioritization, right? I think uh we saw how Team 2 wanted to play in the first 2 games, right? They were taking early dragons, they were delaying the Dragon Soul. Granted that the Dragon Soul for the first 2 games was Mountain Soul, so maybe teams weren't prioritizing it as much. But once you see that the first dragon is mountain, and then the second, you have to see that the second one is going to be fire, right? You got to try to get objectives. You have to try to force, delay the dragon soul, right? Because it looked like Team 2 had had the game, right? They were riding the momentum. Shyvana was really fed. She was 100 to zeroing Kindred like almost every time, right? They looked like they were doing the right plays, right? Leona was roaming really well. Gala on this Ezreal, was doing his job. He was doing his part, but I think it was just um it wasn't any one person's individual mistakes for Team 2.
Mhm.
I think as a team, granted they were playing with the sub mid, but as a team, they just needed to prioritize, what they were doing, right? The movement cost, right? Every time you move somewhere, every time you move on the map, there's a cost, there's a consequence to that, right? The most extreme example being that if you move, you're out of position, you die. But the more subtle consequences of moving to the bot side, getting Baron sneaked right under your nose, like that's the consequence of those movements. Why are 5 people bot? Honestly, why are 5 people bot for an Urgot, right? Why don't you have 2 people catching waves? Why aren't you guys trinketing Baron? Why aren't you making sure at least river for Baron is warded up before you send 5 people by, right? EDG was very frugal, right? As the word I would use. They took advantage of what Team 2 did as mistakes, right? They were very interesting in how they took advantage. They gave waves to their Malzahar. They were shoveling waves into Urgot. You see the CS difference across the board, right? Urgot almost like about 50 CS up, funneling these waves and just very very advantageous on EDG's side. Really good way to kind of bring the game back in their favor. Granted, the Dragon Steal um, definitely helped them out. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that, but they didn't just win because of that, right? They won because they forced Team 2 in Game 3 into a situation where they had to either take Dragon or they had to take Baron, right? And if you have both of those warded and you know where they're gonna be, then EDG can act accordingly, right? And so that's the pressure that an an early soul point puts onto the game, right? I believe it was
Mhm.
a 20-minute, 22-minute soul point. So just a really good stuff on EDG
Around
side.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, both teams played really well, right? I think both teams were very evenly matched in the early game,
Yeah.
right? But it was just the mid to late game transitions is what really messed them up. Um,
Or even like looking, I saw Unbound take the strategy that seemed like EDG took in the first two games, where they let the opponents take the first two drakes. We're gonna take stuff from other places like the Rift Herald, early turret plates, and then we'll go back for the other drags. But once again, they tried to do that in the third ocean, in the first ocean, third drake. Um, but sadly, it was a back and forth fight, and then it seemed like EDG just kind of snuck it from them in the end, as well as
yeah, I think
the fourth getting stolen from across the entire map.
yeah, I
Unfortunate,
think
but it happens.
I think both teams really have they can take a lot away from these. Regardless, even though EDG won the series, I mean, they can take a lot away from the game they lost. They can take a lot away from the game that they won here. I think they can all VOD review if they want to. I think both teams, really good showing, really good play. Granted, understand that these guys are like gold and silver, and like this is coordinated play. This is a difference that comms have, right? You see
Yes,
how
numbers.
yeah, the CS numbers, right? You see that how coordinated they were. You saw like Leona and Ezreal, they were really timing their ultimates. Like, Leona and Shyvana, I'm gonna break the spell shield and then you ultimate, right? That's not something that can can happen regularly in a solo queue game. That's something that happens with coordinated play like this. And it only gets better the higher you go, obviously surmounting the pro play, of course, but really good stuff even at the amateur level. These guys are, really good. Both of them, I think, more time spent. I think team two, if they play with their regular mid laner, we might see a different series. You might see a different game, game three. But I think they really did their best, even with Gala. He did really good showing for a substitute. Honestly,
Yeah.
pulling out some interesting picks. The Victor, the Yone, the Ezreal, just
All
really
over.
cool stuff. A variety, right? He can play mages, he can play assassins, he can play ADCs mid. But it's definitely, I don't think they should be looking at this as it's Gaia's fault or Gala's fault as all. There's a lot of stuff you can take away from this. A lot of micro decisions that were made that led up to the defeat of Team Two. Um, but yeah, really fun stuff. Really good stuff. Really good series. Anything
Yeah.
else to say on your end, Canadian?
Um, I don't think so. I think it was a great game. Great game three that I was not expecting to go the distance, but especially on the first game where it kind of was a blowout at the end of it. It was a very exciting game, very intense. Really close fights between all of them, and this is a great game between Risen, Esports, the Open to Rampage, Week Two, seeing Team Two versus Eastern Dragon Gaming. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm ready to sign off. If you are.
yeah. We're gonna sign off. Come back tomorrow for the Divine League games. We'll see a higher level of play. We'll be seeing some Diamond 2 plus only. Pretty much, that's all it is. I think you're gonna hear my voice again. So if you don't like it, you got to deal with it. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, guys. But I mean, hopefully, it'll be some interesting, more competitive games. We'll see some more meta picks. But hopefully, everybody that saw this game enjoyed watching it. I definitely enjoyed casting with you, Canadian. It was a lot of fun. Good games. But we are signing off here at Ryzen.